All right, guys, and we are back with episode 4 of Take Cover. We're affectionately calling this episode the SoshCast because we've got none other than Jesse Sosh in studio with us today.
The one and only.
And actually, I've added to the list of things that piss me off but shouldn't. You guys were actually with me last night when I thought of this. So we went to Arby's last night, for everybody who wasn't with us because only the people in this room were. Basically, went up to the register, put my order in like normal, print out the receipt, and I've got my hand out for him to put it in my hand. But instead, what does he do? Puts it on the fucking counter. It's like, I would almost have rathered him smack me in the face. Because that's exactly what you're doing to somebody when you put that shit on the counter with their hand out.
I saw him do it, and I thought, oh, man, Jacob's going to be mad.
It pisses me off. Like, okay, I was a Kroger fucking cashier for almost 2 years. And during that time, not one time did I do that to someone. Not even a little bit. If they've got their hand out, you put it in their hand.
I think people are scared of dropping it, probably.
I'm going to drop it if it's on the counter.
Sure.
You ever try to scrape change off into your hand?
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
It's the worst way to go about it.
Literally why we've gone to debit cards. I feel like that.
I mean, the physics just don't line up there, people.
Like that's the only reason we went to debit cards, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, you try to pick up a debit card off the floor, though.
Oh, Jesus
God.
Christ.
Especially like McDonald's floor where it's sticky and
Yeah,
shit.
don't drop it.
Yeah,
Don't drop
yeah.
it. It's worse than prison.
You got to use some hand sanitizer to clean that shit.
It's worse.
And you know what? I actually was thinking about this on the way home because somebody on the radio said it. It pisses me off because, okay, so how would you say it? Or Sosh, I'll go with you because you've probably already heard me bitch about this.
Probably.
How would you say it if you're talking about the sea? It's the Caribbean Sea, right?
Right?
Okay. So now if I say the name of the movie, how do you say that?
Caribbean?
No, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, Caribbean. Right? You're right.
So is it the Caribbean or is it the Caribbean? Because now you sound like a fucking retard saying Caribbean. Like you sound like you're an American trying to speak Spanish. Is what you like? Hola.
Hola.
You know?
Yeah. It doesn't work.
No.
Man.
I get you. I get you. I don't fucking know. Damn.
Yes, I'd like un taco, por favor, in the Caribbean Sea. I mean, it just like there's no reason that it should be pronounced differently. It's a proper noun, for Christ. You don't say Jacob in different ways just because it's in a movie title.
Jacob.
Yeah, so it should. So in reality, it should be Pirates of the Caribbean. But no,
Right.
I've
just
never
sounds so
once
bad.
I've never once heard it said like
You're
that.
pissing me off just talking about
Exactly. These are the things that trouble me on a daily basis, and no one understands it except me. So then I come on this podcast, and I just bitch for like a solid 2 minutes at the beginning of every podcast. And that's just how I get over it.
it. Well, shit, it's
So
anger management.
As long as everyone dwells with me, it's not pathetic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's still pretty pathetic.
You're right. Chase is right.
So the eclipse was fucking yesterday. What a letdown that
it
shit
was fucking
was.
gay.
Yeah. It was slightly less dark outside than it was
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah, I was
for
at work
90.
and everybody's like, "Oh my god, the eclipse is about to happen." So we step outside and, well, it sucks.
Talking to your mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here I am.
There you go.
Yeah.
You
Is
can
that
move
better?
it. Yeah, you can move it as you need it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and it was like, "Oh, this is so cool. It's going to get so dark." And it's like, it didn't.
Yeah,
It's already daylight again.
I mean, it was like a solid 7:30ish.
Humanity
outside.
waited 100 years for this?
Yeah,
God, what a letdown.
For something that was boasted about for the past several months, it was not that spectacular.
Yeah. But can we all talk about how you looked at the eclipse without your glasses?
Yes, we can. Okay, and I'll gladly talk about it because not only do I feel like it's human nature, but I feel like a solid 80-ish% of the men in the entire world, or at least in the eclipse line, did the exact same thing.
Oh,
So-
even people that weren't in the eclipse line
yeah.
did it.
What?
yeah,
Is there a
yeah.
fucking eclipse today?
Oh, shit.
Somebody said there was.
So, like, actually, the night before the eclipse, my dad called me. It was like 10 o'clock. And I was like, why is he calling me? You know, it's 10 o'clock. I'm ready to go to bed. Pick up the phone. And he's like, hey, just wanted to check in with you. How you doing? All, the dad stuff. And then he went on to go just wanted to make sure you weren't planning on looking at the sun tomorrow. And I'm like, no, Dad, what do you think I am, a fucking retard? And so then, of course, the natural thing to do the next day is to immediately look at the sun as soon as someone says, oh, look, the moon's kind of blocking it now. I went, what? And it got me. It was like a solid, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds of looking up just to see. And not only could I not tell a difference, but after that, I could see like all the blood vessels in my right eye. You know, like how you go to the optometrist and they shine the light in your eye and you can see like the shadows of shit? That's exactly what it was for like 30 minutes straight. And then I just felt like I had sand in my right eye for deep. It was awful.
I think that sums up most everybody's experience with the eclipse.
I mean, look at President Trump. You can't blame me for doing it if the president's doing it.
Hell.
Okay? I feel like I have a solid point there.
Secret Service was like, sorry guys, we're all out of eclipse glasses. Shit.
I mean, seriously, like, okay, every time I get on Facebook, someone is reposting, don't look at the sun. And all it does is make me want to look more. I'm like, why don't they want me to look? There's no good reason I shouldn't be able to look right now. And then I found out. But you know what? I'm smarter because now I know.
And now
so,
you know.
So now
You
when I
learn
tell other
the hard
people,
way.
knowing damn good and well they're going to look anyway, I can at least say, well, they're going to learn.
One way or the other.
It's literally Darwinism right there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Survival of the strongest and the smartest.
everybody was worried about their pets looking up, but the pets
Pets
were-
aren't that. They're not that dumb. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, that's the thing that drove me the nuts the most was people that were like, oh, you keep the dogs inside. You don't want the dogs looking at the sun.
If your dog's staring at the sun,
There
he
might be
kind of
something
deserves
else
it.
wrong with him.
Absolutely.
Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a problem. If your dog's just staring at the sun day in and day out.
It just goes outside and just fucking looks up. Your dog's probably blind anyway if it's willing to stare at the sun for any given amount of time.
Because it hurts my eyes to look at the sun with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You know, I do think the sun was brighter yesterday, though. Maybe like a reflection off the moon or something.
did feel like
Yeah,
it was
for
pretty
sure.
bright.
Because probably that's exactly what it was. It was probably just acting like a mirror in terms of just reflection into your fucking retina.
Yeah, man. Astrophysics.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Well, I don't see it. I mean, genuinely, though, like, I don't see how it's possible with the Earth being flat and shit. So,
It was a hologram. See, what those glasses did. See, those were 3D glasses. Those weren't actually NASA certified. Well,
yeah,
they
because
were.
if you looked up, you could totally not tell a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's all just a hoax. They just wanted to sell some eclipse glasses. That's it. That's it.
All right, we're fucking
Jet
playing
fuel
for
doesn't burn
anybody.
steel
Anybody
beams.
who's like, all right, I'm turning off the podcast right now. Just please know we're smartasses and we're being totally sarcastic.
No, we're not.
Besides, like maybe Chase. Yeah. All right, so the Sosh.
The Sosh.
Tell me about the Sosh. You grew up in Philpott. You were homeschooled.
Well, actually, I grew up in Whitesville.
Okay.
Which,
It's like the
Whitesville,
same
Kentucky.
thing.
Sounds racist as shit.
If you're out of Owensboro in the east, it's just kind of all Philpott now.
Yeah, yeah. But Whitesville, Kentucky, town of like 1,000 people. Never saw a black person growing up. I wonder why. But anyway, sure
Because they have
BLM's
better
gonna be there
things to
tomorrow.
do than live in fucking Whitesville.
Yes.
I mean, listen, it's called Whitesville, Sosh. What do you expect?
I know. I'm pretty sure BLM will probably hear this podcast
Oh,
and show
no.
up tomorrow. But whatever.
They're going to be blocking the dirt road that leads to your house. I think they have better things to do.
Yeah. He's right. He's right.
It's literally like the worst stretch of road I've ever been on in my life
Yeah,
going to your house.
I live on a gravel road. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pothole after pothole.
Yeah, for sure. It's awful. It's like the surface of the moon. But, but anyway,
If the moon was real,
yeah, if the moon was
I'm
real,
sure it would be exactly like the NASA studio they filmed that in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if the moon
Probably
wasn't
use
made
that
out
road
of
for
cheese, you know.
Oh goodness. So how did you like it out there? Actually, growing up, it's got to definitely be a lot different than growing up in a place that's say 60,000 people or 100,000 people.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, as I got older, I met more people, you know, like in Owensboro and whatever, and all my friends lived in Owensboro, and I would go over to their house or spend the night or whatever, and there'd be sirens and people all hours of the night and traffic everywhere, and I'm like, what the hell? What in the actual fuck?
And you're
Like,
homeschooled, so I assume you didn't get out much, right? As a kid, anyway. As far as you didn't get up and go to school every day to
No.
interact with other people.
I mean, my school day looked like I got up about 9 o'clock, ate some pancakes, stayed in my pajamas all day,
Fuck
did
yeah.
3 or 4 hours of school, and then I was done for the day, and it was great. But yeah, I mean,
But
so-
then again, look how you turned out. I mean, is it worth it?
I don't know. I think about that sometimes.
So you have
To be decided through the course of this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We'll find out.
So like, I grew up and my parents decided to homeschool me and my two older brothers. And anyway, we joined this homeschool support group. It's like 120 families at the time. And so like once a month we would all get together for like a pizza party or a chili supper or whatever. Man, those people were weird as fuck. I just want to say, like,
Have you met you?
no, I haven't.
I think the same argument could pretty well go both ways.
Yeah, but I mean,
They probably
I'm
went
talking
home
some of
going,
these
God
people
damn, that
are like,
fucking Sosh kid.
Yeah, but it's like some of these people, like, damn, what turnip truck did these bastards fall off of? Like, backwoods country
The one in
motherfuckers.
Whitesville.
Yeah, pretty much. And then some of them were, like, super smart, and their 9-year-old daughter is a concert pianist on tour in, Italy, and their 12-year-old son is working for NASA, and, it's just crazy shit like that. So there was a good combination, It was pretty interesting growing up that way.
Yeah. Was religion a pretty backbone of your schooling, or did that kind of come as an option? I know your family's rather religious. I think it's
Fairly.
safe to say.
I'll say I grew up, and every Sunday I was on the front row of a church somewhere,
Okay.
But as far as the religious, you have to do this, 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 and this to be perfect and godlike, and that was never really our family.
Yeah, I didn't take it as that. You guys are all open to new ideas and new prospects. You don't seem very close-minded.
But growing up with some of these homeschool kids, they were totally that way.
Really?
And it was like, I would show up to, like Wednesday night youth group when I was 13, and I'd be wearing like a Black Sabbath t-shirt and some skinny jeans, and they'd all be wearing, like Aeropostale and American Eagle, and that would be the difference, And
So is that kind of religious influence what led you to be an intern at River City?
Well, somewhat. At a young age, at about 13, 14, growing pains, I guess you'd call them. I actually got kicked out of a youth group for a bunch of dumb shit.
What was the dumb shit? Elaborate.
So I had my first fat crush on a girl, right?
Okay.
Oh boy,
Right?
I like where this
Was it
is
a
going.
fat girl or just a fat crush?
Just a fat crush.
Okay.
Skinny girl.
Skinny girl.
Hot as shit.
Makes sense.
But anyway, so, I'm 13, right? Like, I just found my penis.
How have you been pissing? Or you found
let's
its
be
real
honest.
purpose?
Yeah, But, so anyway, like, I'm talking to this chick, and we're dating, quote unquote.
Yeah.
As much as a 13-year-old can.
Yeah.
And anyway, her parents were leaders in this church. And from what I gather, a bunch of gossip and rumors, like every church, and are spreading, and they're like, hey, you need to break up with him. So she does, 2 days before Christmas. And anyway, so shittiest Christmas ever, obviously. But so anyway,
You got. He just closed the door so the sound would get better.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, she breaks up with me 2 days before Christmas. Shittiest Christmas ever. I'm heartbroken. I'm confused. I'm angry. I don't know what the fuck to think. So, I say all kinds of dumb shit and whatever. And essentially, the youth pastor comes to me and he's like, yeah, you need to leave and not come back.
So how are you going to tell a story like that and then once again not elaborate on what exactly the dumb shit said was?
I just said dumb shit.
Like what?
Okay, like I flicked her family off in the parking lot. Shredded her middle fingers.
Now, if that's not a 14-year-old from Whitesville, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, right. I'm more normal than not, I guess. But anyway, so dumb shit like that happened. And for a long time, I kind of resented religion. I guess maybe I thought God hated me, I guess, right? Because I got kicked out of church at 14. Damn, Well, I found this other church, and they were totally different. And they were totally modern. And they're going and blowing, as they said. And it's great. And I started serving in the youth group and volunteering every Saturday and whatever. And after high school, I thought, I'm going to intern here. They had this internship program. So I interned for 7 months. And let me tell you, worst 7 months of my life.
They had you working all kinds of crazy hours, didn't they?
Yeah, the longest week I ever worked there was 116 hours.
Jesus.
And for the listeners, mind you, this was pretty much free. Like,
They put you in an apartment.
that was shitty.
That was it, though, right?
Yeah, they put you in an apartment and gave you like $50 a week for living expenses.
Yeah.
Which is
Enough to
basically
get
free.
you to church. every day.
Yeah,
For
and,
gas,
and live on ramen noodles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
And Monster. It's where
Yeah.
you coin the term "get soft."
Sosh.
Oh,
yeah,
your
for
laptop
sure.
fell asleep, Chase.
It did.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why I did that.
But yeah, I mean, I'd be drinking like 3-4 Monsters a day, and it's super unhealthy. But I mean, this internship would be like, all right, so I'd get up at 5 a.m. I'd go do a workout session, CrossFit, stupid insane, throw my guts up everywhere, go home, sleep for an hour, come back, and it would be mop this, paint this, do this, move this. Hey, I need you over here. Hey, I need you to make this phone call, just all day long.
Wow.
And I mean, I tell you what, I learned how to use a broom pretty damn good.
Yeah.
A paintbrush. And I'm not going to say it was all bad. I definitely had some fun, but I don't know. So that happened, and I guess after that, I kind of went back to how I felt at 14, and I was just felt kind of used and taken advantage of. And I don't know. I just kind of...
Well, how was it? I mean, you lived at home up until that point, right? So
Yeah.
how was it kind of going out on your own in terms of working the crazy hours, and you got your own place? Did you stay at your own place, or did you stay at your parents' still?
No, I stayed at my own place at the apartment they put us in. The first, 4 months, I had a roommate, Andrew, you know him. We interned together. Real great friend of mine. But his internship ended, and I decided to go on for another 3 months, and it was insane. So here's a funny story. So we had a food bank area set up in the church, right, for needy people, and it kind of didn't go anywhere. They didn't advertise it or something like that. It didn't go anywhere. Anyway, it was Andrew's last day, the guy I'm interning with, and he's like, one of the leaders comes to us and says, "Hey, we have 600 pounds of black beans, and we got to get rid of them. They're expired. They're in these big 100-pound sacks."
Jesus.
Okay, cool. So we're about to take them out back, and I'm like, Drew, dude, let's go drop these in the back of Matt's truck, the guy that came and told us to do it. So we did. So we totally loaded them up on a golf cart, rode out there to the parking lot, threw them in the back of his truck, opened these bags up, and
Oh my
spilled
God.
600 pounds of black beans in the back of this dude's pickup truck.
Oh my God.
He had no idea until he went to leave that day.
Oh no.
Right?
What'd he say?
He didn't say anything.
He just hauled him on home?
He turned around, gave us a look through the window, and just got in his truck and drove off.
You know, he was cussing you the whole way
It was
home.
the most infuriated, pissed off look I'd ever seen from this
Oh,
man.
my God.
This is a man of the cloth. And he turns around and he looks like he's about to call down fire and brimstone on my ass. It's pretty bad. So anyway, he doesn't say anything. It's Andrew's last day. So it's none of his problem.
He didn't care at all.
Yeah.
Dump
It's
more beans in
hilarious. 2 months later, this was in the summer. It was 100 degrees every day, that summer. And Matt comes to me and he says, "Hey, man, yeah? There's black beans you guys put in my truck?
Oh, no.
Yeah? Here's a shovel. It's around back next to the dumpster."
Oh, they're still in there?
After 2 months of rain
gross.
and heat and humidity and God knows what else.
God.
And so I get up in this thing and I'm thinking, okay, this won't be too bad. It was still pretty soft on top. I'm like, okay.
And it's
So
just
so
mushy.
so I make one good scoop and the smell erupts. It's like a volcano of nastiness.
Oh, my God.
There was a homeless dude walking by out back by the church, and he started gagging and almost threw up and ran away. Freaking homeless dude, been living with dogs and shit.
Yeah, it's bad when a homeless dude is gagging at it.
Yeah. It's it was fucking horrible. So anyway, I'm scooping these 600 pounds of black beans out of this dude's truck. And it's awful, and there's maggots and roaches and centipedes crawling in it.
Oh, my
And it's
God.
nasty as shit. And I want nothing more than to just go home.
Yeah.
I just want to quit.
It's God's work, Sosh.
yeah, exactly.
Reap what you sow.
Exactly. So it's like a dumbass. I stick around, But anyway, it wasn't all bad experiences, I mean, it was cool to...
It was definitely fun fucking sneaking in late at night. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, for sure. So these guys, I've known Jacob for, 7, 8, 9 years now?
Long ass time.
Yeah. And Zach, I don't know if he's been on the show yet.
No, he hasn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you guys will meet him later. And anyway, they would all come over to my apartment every once in a while and just hang out. well, I didn't have a TV. I didn't have internet. I didn't have anything cool. I barely had, lights. It was horrible. So anyway, I'd be like, you guys want to go to the church? It's 11 o'clock at night. Nobody's there. We can play Call of Duty on the projection screens.
And that we did.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So I remember one time, you and me, we're back in the youth room playing Call of Duty Black Ops on like an 80-inch projection screen.
Yeah, it took up the entire wall with nothing but Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It was fucking terrific.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we're basically in a warehouse. It used to be an old service merchandise.
Yeah.
And so huge rooms, huge vault ceilings and whatever. But anyway, so we're there, and like I said, I'm like 19. You're like 17.
Yeah.
And
I was still a minor.
You're like, "Sup, man? I'm talking to these bitches. You want them to come over?" So anyway, I'm like, you know what?
I was 16 then.
Yeah, you were 16. That's
Yeah.
right. I was like, yeah,
That
okay,
was
why
way
not?
before I met Lacey.
Screw it. I mean, I'm getting to it
Right,
towards the end of my...
right.
No. Seriously, that was before I met
Yeah,
Lacey.
that was long.
Yeah.
That was deep ago.
Because you were with me the first time I ever kissed Lacey.
Yes.
In what was that? Legion Park?
Yeah,
Oh,
Legion Park.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Of
was
course,
like-
you were there
I
to
was
watch that.
I was
Yeah.
stoked. Yeah, I mean, well, we were like the fucking closest of friends then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were in red skinny jeans, and Lacey was like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, back to your story.
So anyway, like these two bitches show up, and I'm like, it's the end of my internship. And one of the rules was you couldn't talk to anybody of the opposite sex.
What?
Yeah.
So
Couldn't
okay,
talk?
wait. All right, so they paid you nothing, gave you the shittiest apartment I ever did see, worked you 116 hours a week, made you work out at 4 a.m. every morning, and you couldn't fuck.
Yes.
Oh my god, that is the most Christ-like thing I've ever heard.
But anyway, so I'm like, fuck it. It's towards the end of the internship. I got like a month left. They're never gonna know. So Jacob gets these two bitches over.
Bird-looking bitches.
Yeah, they're the fucking ugliest bitches I've ever seen in my whole damn life.
Hey, but they were available, Sosh.
They were available, but I'm not. I'd get some saber-toothed crotch crickets.
Oh
if I hit that,
God.
like
Saber-tooth crotch crickets.
Like-
Wow, that is the most beautiful term I think I've ever heard in my
Well,
life.
this motherfucker's a mechanic. I'm sure he's got 8-pound bags full of them.
endless.
Yeah.
endless. I could publish a Webster's dictionary. I guarantee it. but no, I mean, yeah, it was horrible, and I'm like, Jacob, what the fuck are we doing? Like, these bitches weigh like 75 pounds. They're literally sticks. Their nose is bigger than mine. I'm like, what the hell? So anyway, that happened. I think me and Zach hung out there one night. I think we just blasted Metallica, and we got on like the floor cleaner.
I was there. Oh, dude, do you remember when it was me, you, probably Zach, and Matt.
Yes.
And we played a Miley Cyrus. It was Party in the USA by
Yes.
Miley Cyrus. We blared that over the entire like church PA system, speakers, everything. And Matt got up on the stage and like we turned on the cameras and started recording him. It was so funny. He was fucking line dancing to Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA.
on this fucking church stage.
While this is going on, of course, it's blaring loud, right? And we can see to our left is the front of the church, so we can see the parking lot. And we see headlights pull through, and then we see like the headlights flash, like somebody just locked the car. So Sasha's like, "Oh fuck, it's the pastor!" So we we turn everything off, and we run through this church in the middle of the night. I mean, we're
Yep.
fucking tripping over everything.
Yep.
Trying to run through pews that are 6 inches wide. We go out the back, and then we have to sneak all the way back around the front of the church, get in our vehicles, and leave, and hope that he suspects nothing happened.
Yes. Fucking awful.
Did he ever say anything about that?
No, never did.
Oh my god!
I don't think he really cared. I don't know.
It was so. I mean, he had a key to the church.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not like we didn't break in.
No,
we
not at all. I mean, I literally had a key, and
You were there 116 hours a week.
Yeah,
we could at
exactly.
least blare music
I mean,
after
I
church
wouldn't
service.
sleep
was
for
over.
3 days at a time. I
So what
lived there.
about that dance video?
Oh, it's actually. I bet I could find it on Facebook because I'm pretty sure I uploaded it.
Oh my gosh, beautiful.
It was hilarious. Yeah, it was Matt Sanders.
Yeah, doing fucking hokey pokey damn
Line dancing.
dance on the
Yep.
stage to Miley Cyrus. This progressive ass church, so strobe lights and shit going off.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. It was the
Holy
funniest
crap.
fucking thing.
You remember when like the big auditorium area. There was just like a big empty room.
Yeah.
You remember when we get on the ShamWow, like the floor cleaner, and we jump up on it?
I wasn't there for that. I was there for when we searched for like 30 fucking minutes for the golf cart key. We found the golf cart key, and then we found those those really fun little knee boards with like coasters on the bottom that you had when you were like PE in like third grade. They have those there.
Oh.
So we got one of those and a rope and tied it to the back of the golf cart. And then drove in circles. So the person on the back was just going 100 miles an hour in a fucking circle.
It was fucking great.
Narrowly avoiding the support beams that were solid concrete going up through the middle of the room.
Yeah. Maybe it was Matt Sanders. But one night I was there with somebody and we got the floor cleaner out, and it was like one of the electric ones that does all the scrubbing and all that for you.
Yeah.
And we would jump up on it and crank it all the way up to like max velocity, and we would just turn like the left handle so it'd be spinning around in these circles. We called it riding the bull, and it throw us off everywhere. And yeah, it was fucking great.
Oh, dude. Oh, I still have that picture of you in, what was it? Some kind of giant mask. It was like a really big head.
Yeah.
It looked like, if you guys have seen Shrek when he turns back into a person.
Yeah.
It looked like Shrek as a person.
Yeah.
And we took a picture like that. He had it on. It was fucking funny.
Yeah, and the thing for people to realize is listening, this church was like super progressive. So they were always doing cool sermon series and whatever. So they had like a giant life-size eagle's nest, and they had like, 3 little pigs' houses and all kinds of cool shit to play with. And it was awesome. It was definitely fun getting into the church after hours when nobody's there.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
So then after that, you worked at Hunter Douglas pretty briefly for a few months, working third shift.
I worked there about a year, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see you much during that year. So
Yeah.
to me, it was brief as far as a glimpse in my recollection.
Yeah, sure.
And then after that, you worked at Big Bang comic book store here in Owensboro, right?
Yeah.
What was that like? What'd you do there?
You're not the Big Bang comic store type. Just saying.
Yeah, I realized that pretty quickly.
Okay, I figured.
Pretty quickly. I mean,
What'd you do?
well, I was on their online sales team. I clearly didn't know enough shit to sell anybody magic cards or, you know, talk Transformers or anything because, fuck, I don't know. But anyway, so I would get on eBay. I would take these toys they have. Some of them were really cool, but not that I really cared. But I would research them what they were valued at and take pictures of them and put them on eBay all day. That's what I did.
Okay.
For 40 hours a week.
Pretty easy job.
Yeah, paid minimum wage. And
Better than Hunter Douglas third shift.
yeah, Hunter Douglas was awful.
Yeah.
I actually had a dream when I worked at Hunter Douglas. I was super stressed out. I went home, I slept, and I dreamt that I went in and shot the place up.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
That got dark.
I think the
Yeah.
next day I put in my 2 weeks. I was like,
Yeah, that's a sign.
no.
That's definitely a sign.
No, I'm not going to do this. So yeah, that's definitely what I did. I was living with Matt Hartley at the time.
Well, at least you went to a comic book store, played fucking LARP all day, right? Isn't that what you do there?
Yeah.
I mean, you can say you post things on the internet, but let's be honest. You just LARPed around, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, so here I am, and during my breaks, I'm looking up, like, 93 F-150 Ford parts, and, you know, like AR-15 modifications, and you know, these nerdy-ass kids coming in with acne that are 35 and haven't never seen a vagina, and it's like, huh, I don't fit in here very well. I stayed there like maybe 6 months, maybe.
What was like the funniest or like the craziest thing you've seen there as far as like somebody acting weird? Because I know there's some weird fucking...
Surely somebody got way too hype over a magic duel or something.
Dude,
and just,
Flipped the table.
It was a daily occurrence.
oh,
really?
For real?
Dude, yeah. I mean, I've seen like freaking things get thrown through walls and all kinds of
God.
bullshit.
Oh, my Lord.
And I mean, you got to think these are all like anywhere from like 14 to like 30-year-olds that haven't showered in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
And live in their parents' basement. And I just
Eating
didn't fit
Cheetos,
in
of
there.
course.
Like, I mean, they were all cool people, I guess. Like, they all meant well. But yeah, I mean, they would never fit in at my job or any job I've ever really had except that one. You know?
Yeah. So up until this point in your life, you were still you were young, you were kind of sheltered. You didn't really have too much craziness going on.
Yeah.
And then, as you said earlier, you moved in with Matt Hartley,
Yes.
which kind of changed everything.
It did.
What kind of first first experiences you have like that? You know, like first.
Sure.
What kind of experiences did you experience for the first time there?
So after the internship, I moved back in with mom and dad briefly, maybe like 3 months, and I started at Hunter Douglas. And I'm thinking, damn, I'm making good money. I want to start looking for a place. Well, my good friend Preacher is what everybody calls him. He was just got a divorce. He was like 29, and I was 19. And he had just got a divorce, and we were talking over Facebook one night, and he was like, hey, man, why don't you just move in with me? We can split the rent, split the bills. I'm like, cool, I've known this guy for like 4 or 5 years. It'd be awesome. So we move in, and everything's kosher at first, and it's pretty cool. And then it's like, hey, man, you want to party this weekend? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm 19, I want to party.
And you hadn't drank up until this point, right?
I think I had like 1 beer in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was 18.
18?
Like, I think I had 1 beer.
Yeah, so you waited a relatively long time compared to...
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a pretty sheltered household, I guess.
True.
But... I mean, it wasn't all bad, but yeah, it's just kind of how it was.
Right.
And and anyway, I remember my first taste of Fireball whiskey. so Preacher is like,
strawberry wine.
right? So Preacher is like, hey man, let's go to Show Me's, which was a bar in the mall for a while.
Yeah.
And let's just hang out there. And you be my DD. You're
Is
too young to drink.
Preacher Matt?
Matt Hartley, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure I didn't.
Yeah. And anyway, so we're playing a couple games of pool, and there's a live band, and they sound great, and the house is packed, and whatever. I'm not having a good time because I'm not drunk, right?
Right.
And Matt gets way hammered,
All the way gone.
all the way put together, as he would have said.
All the way together.
Anyway, so he's like, I'm buying a whole round of Fireball for everybody in the bar.
Oh, Jesus.
And he does, and he blows like half his paycheck.
Right.
I mean, there's like probably 150 people in this bar, right?
Oh, my God.
Right? And so the waitress brings me one too, and doesn't ID me or anything.
Fuck it. You had a beard at like 13, so who would
Yeah,
ID
yeah,
you?
yeah. So I'm like, no, I should probably tell. Fuck it. One won't hurt. No
One
big deal.
won't hurt.
So I down it, and I'm like, damn. Preacher's like, you like that? I said, yeah, give me another one. He said, okay. So 10, 12, maybe 15 shots of Fireball later. It's 3 a.m.
Well, he's a guy, so you have to divide that in half. For women, you multiply by 2. For men, you subtract.
Yeah.
Or divide, rather.
Sure. But anyway,
So a solid
I'm
7,
way
8.
hammered. This is my first time ever being drunk in public, and I am fucked up. Like, I'm gone. And so they're like, last call for alcohol. And Matt's like, come on. Let's go over here and get one more.
Naturally.
All I remember is me and him taking a shot off the bar, trying to get the shot glass to our mouths, and it was fucking ridiculous. Neither one of us could stand. I mean, it's horrible. We're spilling more on ourselves than in our mouth. And anyway, so we're like, okay, cool. So we go outside. He smokes a cigarette. I wasn't smoking it this time. And we sit down for a minute, and he's like, how are we getting home? I said, man, let's just call a cab. I got it. I got my phone right here. Let's just call a cab.
Yeah.
I'm sure it didn't sound that good when I was that drunk. But anyway. So anyway, we he's like, nah, man, I got this. I can drive.
No. Oh, God, no.
I'm like, nah, man, that's not. He said, nah, really, I got it. I've done this before. And of course, I'm drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
So everything sounds
It's
like
a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, everything sounds like a good idea. So I'm
So he
driving
allegedly drove.
Yeah, I allegedly drove. I can neither confirm nor
Wait,
deny.
you drove?
No, I didn't drive.
Oh, okay. You said I allegedly drove.
Yeah, allegedly we got home somehow.
Yeah. Without a taxi.
Yeah, without a taxi. I think we walked, actually.
Right.
But anyway, so last thing I remember from that night is trying to get our key in the front door to unlock it. And we were 99.9% sure that our landlord had found out we were drinking and came over and changed the locks on our door at 3 a.m.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense, right? Total sense.
When in reality, you're trying to put your phone in the hole.
I guarantee it was something stupid like that. Yeah. And yeah, fucking horrible. But yeah, I mean, it was a good time.
So then So then all the drinking starts. I remember that very, very, very vividly. We went over there. Me and Matt Sanders went over there a lot. Got drunk over there. I still remember one time, man, that we were over there and we were plastered.
I remember that.
We
I
were
walked in on that.
Gone. And yeah, you just got home from Hunter Douglas, and we were fucking toasted. There was beer bottles everywhere, playing PS4, and I was like probably 17.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 17.
Maybe 18.
No,
Maybe.
I don't think I was.
Okay.
No, because it was when I just got with Lacey.
Okay.
So probably 17. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. And Matt, he was notorious for not being able to hold liquor. He could have one beer, and this motherfucker is 6'2", 6'3", probably a 250-pound guy, and he would have one beer and just be gone. I mean, seriously. Well, he had 5 or 6, so he was super tore up. And Sosh comes in for a brief few minutes, and like I said, I'm 17, and Matt was either 17 or 16. So we're about the same age. Anyway, so he comes in, and Preacher immediately goes, "Strip club!" And so I'm 17, Matt's 17. We couldn't go. And I was like, "Oh, come on, man. Don't leave me here with Matt." I'm like, he's huddled over a toilet, throwing guts
the toilet
up.
bowl.
It was awful. And so without a second word, they immediately leave to go to Nashville for the strip club down there. So I'm like, all right, well, I get back on PS4. But I just remember that like it was yesterday. That was so fucking... I was gone. Matt was in the bathroom literally hugging the toilet. And I was like, "You good?" And he went... I'm like, "Yeah, you're good." He's good. He's good.
Still making noise.
It'll make him
All right.
stronger.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
For sure. But that was my first strip club experience that night.
Really?
First ever. And
that was
we,
in Nashville.
We went to Evansville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We went to Evansville, and I walk in, and, you know, I'm 19, and titties everywhere. Right? And it's like, this is... Okay. So the first bitch that walks over to us, fucking elephantitis, freaking nasty, like, baby mama, like, gross as shit. But she's got her titties out.
Elephantitis.
So like, gross as shit. But she walks over, and she's got her titties out. And I'm 19.
Whatever.
So I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? And Matt's like, "Here, man. Here's $50. Go get a lap dance."
Word.
I'm like, "Hell yeah." And so I go this back room with this chick, and I don't know who's all been in the strip club, but the private dance rooms are little bitty, and like this bitch takes up like the whole damn room. and like she damn near crushes me, and I'm like, okay, that was all right, I guess. But I saw some titties, so
Yeah.
so cool, right? And so we're sitting there, and I just got paid earlier that day, so I'll blow like my whole paycheck. I spent like $300 in one night.
Naturally.
I don't even get anything except to see some titties and some ass, right?
Yeah. Leave with blue balls.
Yeah, and beat off like a motherfucker the next day. And so anyway, we come home, and Mac's still hugging the toilet bowl,
Yep.
and you're just playing like Battlefield or something.
I was probably fucking snoozing by that
I
point.
think you were.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you were. But anyway, I know the next day you were like, "Dog, how was the strip club? Like, what was it like?"
Yeah.
And I told you, you're like, "Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome."
Of course it's fucking awesome. Titties, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that became an every weekend thing.
Yeah.
For me and Preacher. while
Yeah,
we
you
lived
guys
together.
are every weekend, yeah. So then, was the woman who chased you around with that spoon, was she a stripper? Tell that story. How'd that go?
All right, so I'm 19, working all the time, and got no game, and got no swagger. Fucking, it's horrible. I can't even get a bitch to look at me, much less talk to me.
Has not changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I concur.
Continue.
But anyway, so Preacher over here being 30 years old and just divorced with, like a 1-year-old, bitches eat him up, right? Like, oh my God, he's just divorced. I want to pity fuck him. Like, all the time.
Is that how that works?
I guarantee you that's how
Son
that
of a
works.
bitch. Pop out a kid and get divorced. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he hooks up with this stripper that apparently former stripper, whatever, I don't know. anyway, they do some crazy shit in Chautauqua Park and whatnot. Allegedly, or so he told me. I don't know if I believe it. But anyway, so she comes over one night. And earlier that day, I was at work. And Preacher texted me and said, "Hey, man, I got this bitch that'll fuck you if you want to come home early."
And you were a virgin at this point, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, hell yeah. But there's no way I can get off early. I called in the day before. I'm like, fuck, we're
The fly's pissing me off.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't smack the table too much. It'll come through the mics.
For sure.
Yeah, just let him chill, I guess. He'd start paying rent if he keeps it up.
But anyway, so I'm like, well, fuck. So I get home, and he's in the bedroom with this chick. And I'm just thinking, okay, that's a chick that's going to fuck me.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I'm just chilling butt-ass naked on the couch.
Oh, my God. With the condom on, right?
With the condom on.
With a condom on.
Jacob, you know this story pretty well.
No, I know this part.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is the part I know.
So I'm like, all right. I'm pretty sure Matt Sanders was there, too.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
he was sitting there butt-ass naked on the couch, too. Just because
Are
I
you
was.
serious?
In fact, I know it was. Yeah, it was me and Matt Sanders butt-ass naked.
Choo-choo. Bitch stopped by the train station that night. Didn't even fucking know it.
But anyway, so we're hanging out, and obviously Preacher's fucking the shit out of this woman. All I hear is,
Nice.
right? And I'm like, well, shit. It's going to be wallered out. It's going to be like a Tic Tac in the Grand Canyon.
Oh, no.
But whatever. So she comes out of the room after like 45 minutes. And I stand up. I'm like, hey, what's up? Freaking, schlong hanging everywhere. We're all wrapped up in a rubber. And she's like, Matt, what the fuck?
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, I thought we were going to fuck. So anyway, this was a totally different chick. The other chick didn't even come over.
Oh, so she had no idea.
She had no idea. She didn't know, right? And apparently, this bitch is psycho because she runs in the kitchen
Oh my God.
and grabs this wooden spoon, like this big ass ladle, and chases me around with it. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't know this was a different chick. I'm like, what the fuck? And at one point, she like grabs a hold of me and tries to shove me against the wall and shove it up my ass.
Oh, my God.
And
Did she penetrate?
No, I
Oh,
clenched
no.
those cheeks so hard together.
You would have
Fuck.
snapped that fucking wooden spoon.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Fuck yeah. I was like, what the fuck is
Shit
going
did not
on?
stand a chance.
And yeah, it was quite intense. And she
To
left.
say the least.
To say the
Yeah.
least. And she left. And Preacher was like, and of course, Matt Sanders is over there on the couch dying of laughter.
Oh, yeah.
Also
fucking
naked.
time.
Also, probably still naked.
Just
Yeah.
rolling out of laughter. I think he went in the next room and grabbed an airsoft plate carrier and a helmet and came back and sat on the couch and watched the whole thing.
That sounds like a very Matt Sanders thing to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, fuck. So anyway, she leaves. And Preacher's like, dude, that totally wasn't the chick. I'm sorry, that was somebody I've been
Oh,
talking
my
to.
God.
And I'm like, dog, you could have let me know. I almost just got raped with a ladle, with a soup ladle. Like, what the fuck?
Well, was it the handle end or the ladle end?
The handle. And it was
She was
like,
nice.
it was like textured and rigid. Like rigid,
For her pleasure.
for his, I guess. And I'm like, what in the actual fuck?
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, he said, "Oh, I'll make it up to you." Well, that weekend we go to the strip club again, and whatever. And yeah, there were a lot of firsts. A lot of, oh fuck, my roommate spent all of his money at the strip club, so I've got to pick up his half of rent this month, and shit like that.
What about your room? Your window faced like an alley or something, right?
Right. So I lived in an apartment on the first floor, and it's kind of like a square building, and it's kind of weird.
It's a 2-story building that they had cut into 4 apartments.
Yeah,
Right.
it was one big house at one time, I think.
Right. Yeah.
But they cut it into 4 apartments. So on either side of the building, there were 2 staircases. And my window overlooked one of these staircases. Like, you could watch people going up.
Okay, to go upstairs to the other apartments.
All right, so I'm 19. I'm a virgin. There is more semen in my body than I know what to do
Buddy, your 19-year-old year was just a fucking roller coaster, wasn't it?
with. Dude, it was probably the worst year
All
of my
these
life.
stories have started with, so I was 19.
Yeah,
Every single one.
yeah, for sure. So anyway, like, I think we just got back from the strip club the next night. And I was really big into fitness at this time. I was running every day, working out every day, swimming a couple hours a week. I was in damn good shape. And yeah, my testosterone levels were through the roof.
Mm-hmm. And you were still a virgin. So
Yeah, and
you
I
had
was still a virgin.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah, so I'm just jerking off all the time, right? Like every damn day, like multiple times a day. Like it's bad.
Put a number on it.
6.
6 times a day. God
In it to win
damn.
it, boy.
Yeah,
Boy, you better chill out.
Yeah, like I thought I was gonna break it sometimes, you know. But anyway, so I'd been super busy with work, and it had been like 3 days since I jerked off, and like man, I was fucking hard as a tree, right? It was Mount Everest over here, right? And I'm like, all right, I gotta take care of this before I go to work. So I'm beating it, and it's pretty vigorous. It's pretty vigorous.
What do you mean by vigorous? Like you're just got your leg up on the bed, just fucking going for it?
The whole way.
Oh my God.
Fucking humping the corner of the mattress.
What were you watching? Did you have like porn on?
No, I was so horny I wasn't even watching porn.
So you were just fucking the shit out of your mattress.
yeah.
Going for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I think at one point I actually stopped and started grinding on the carpet.
God damn, you were fucking horny.
Dude, I mean, it
Holy
was horrible.
shit, you were
It was
trying
horrible.
for it.
And I just couldn't get there. I just couldn't get off. Like, didn't know
Well,
what
you
was
were
wrong.
fucking beating it 6 times a day.
Yeah, but
give the
like,
guy a break every now and then.
right? So anyway, I'm going to town here, and my mattress sounds like squeak, 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 right? And fucking, I hear footsteps. I'm like, what the fuck? So I just pause. Like a tiger caught in the wild, just and butt ass naked. I didn't have many blinds on the window, and I hear people walking up these stairs.
Why would you?
And I'm like, fuck. And so I see their legs, right, like through the railing of this fucking staircase, and they both stop, and it's like a dude and a chick, I think. And I hear one of them say, "You hear something?" And the other one's like,
Squeak, 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 squeak.
and the other one's like, "No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was the dude." And I'm sure he was like, "Oh, somebody's fucking." You know?
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I don't think so." Anyway, I'll be back for the rest of the groceries or whatever. So like goes back and runs back up, and they go in, and I hear them shut the door in the apartment above us, and I'm like, I look down, and I'm totally soft, and I'm like, damn, I've been beating this motherfucker for 45 minutes straight, and I was
Jesus
almost
Christ.
there. And some motherfuckers walking up a staircase that can't mind their own goddamn business fucking ruined it for me. Yeah, it was awful. It was awful.
Oh my God, dude, that is so funny.
Oh, goodness.
So, did I tell you about the time I almost went to jail at 20?
No.
Yeah, so
20, another good year, apparently.
yeah. This was towards the end of my time with Preacher, but for some other issues that I probably won't bring up on this podcast, but people that know him personally know what's up. But anyway, so anyway, we're drunk as fuck, me and Matt both, and our next door neighbor Tessa comes over, and Tessa was cool as shit. She was like 21, 22. Kind of cute. Yeah, she's all right for sure. I'm sure she'll probably listen to this. But anyway, super cool chick to get along with. And it's like midnight.
That fly won't fucking quit. He really likes this table.
We'll get him.
Look.
That fly needs to be liberated. He needs some freedom smacked down on him.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tessa comes over. It's like midnight on a Friday, and me and Matt are like, Tessa, take us to the strip club. We've already killed like a fifth of Fireball in 2 hours between both of us.
Jesus.
Fucked up. And she's like, all right, but I'm taking your car talking about mine. And this, yeah, there we go.
You missed.
Damn it.
Anyways.
But anyway, so we get in my car. I'm in the back seat, about half passed out. Preacher's up front. She's driving. Hadn't had anything to drink. We're about halfway to Evansville, and we get pulled over. And the cop walks up. And I'm half out of it, right? Like, I'm just kind of in that super drunk stage where you don't really know what's going on, but you do. Like, you can't feel your body, but you can hear you know?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, this cop comes up and is like, "Ma'am, I just want to let you know you got a busted tail light. No big deal. Just get it taken care of." And she's like, "Oh, thank you so much, officer." My drunk ass decides to wake up in the back seat of this beat up ass Nissan Sentra, roll down the back window. Cop's freaking out. He's like, "What the fuck's going on?" I pop my head out of the window and I'm like, "Sir, I'm 20 years old. This is my car. And I'm drunk as fuck."
The worst thing you could have said.
Yeah.
Other than I have illegal narcotics in the car.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You might as well have thrown that in there. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
yeah. For some reason, I just thought, honesty is the best policy. Yeah, okay.
He needs to know.
So-
he
so-
needs to know.
The officer, and I'm pretty sure he was a state trooper, was like...
Even better.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really remember. But anyway, and this all allegedly happened, by the way. But anyway, he's like, "Well, can I see your license and registration, sir?" And I said, "Yeah, let me get my license." So I'm drunk as fuck, trying to find my billfold in my back pocket, and I pull it out. And as soon as I pull it out, he gets a call all over the radio that says, "Domestic violence, you're the only one available to respond."
Saved by the bell.
Yeah, and he says, "Ma'am," looks at Tessa in the driver's seat, "Ma'am, get these guys home safe. Have a great night. See you later. Bye." Hops in his car and takes off.
Oh my God. You got
Yeah.
so
Look,
lucky.
I don't agree with any kind of domestic violence whatsoever, but
but thank God
but somebody-
that bitch was talking back.
yeah, somebody was beating their wife that night in the trailer park, freaking, and I'm so thankful. Yeah, for sure. I just pictured this like freaking motherfucker named Eddie with a mullet driving a third-gen Camaro and a cutoff in the trailer park, beating the fuck out of his wife Lorraine, and probably freaking been through an 18-pack of Bud Light. But anyway,
So you were a virgin till what age?
21.
21. And you had tried dating sites, right? Like all the apps and
Oh God.
all that shit.
I was like, everybody was like, "Yeah, man, just get on, Tinder or Meet Me or hookup.com or Slutty Kink Mamas 101." Or
So how'd you
whatever.
wind up losing your virginity?
Well, I met this girl and I don't know, I think she was just great. Like, it was a real legitimate relationship. It wasn't just a hookup.
Yeah.
We were together for almost a year, and about 6 months into it, she totally knew I was a virgin, and it just kind of happened one night. We were just hanging out and whatever, and she was like, "Let's go get a room." I'm like,
Word?
"Okay."
Yeah.
Sure. So I'm driving around 11:30 at night trying to find a decent hotel room, and I'm like, "Motel 6, all right?" But they were just remodeled, so it was all right. But
Thank God.
That makes it better.
yeah.
Hey, babe, I know
But-
it's a Motel 6, but,
But
hey,
yeah,
they just
it was
remodeled.
It was an interesting experience. After the whole ordeal that lasted 15 seconds, I roll over and I'm like, so that's what all the hype is about.
God damn, I could have done that better myself.
I mean, cool. All right.
I think that's everyone's first thought, really. I mean, the first time you have sex for me, was disappointing.
Yeah.
And I've talked to several guys who said the same thing.
I mean, it wasn't really disappointing for me. Like, it was definitely an exciting time, but afterwards it was just like,
Well, and I think a lot of it is contributed to the unrealistic expectations we set in our head because we live in the internet age where we can pull up any number of freaky shit on the internet at
Yeah.
any time.
yeah, you can totally just, see a woman stick a bowling ball in her vagina.
Dog, you are the master of freaky porn.
Dude.
What?
All right, so-
list some shit that you. What's the freakiest porn video you've ever seen in your life? Give me the top 3.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Okay,
We've all
everyone.
seen
Yeah,
that.
everyone's familiar with
We've all seen
that.
I saw this one somebody actually sent me, and mind you, this all happened when I was like 19, 20.
Yeah.
Total virgin. Like, I rarely watch porn anymore. I just don't. But anyway, so then I saw this one time where this chick takes his vibrator and shoves it down this dude's dick, and
What?
I'm like, how is that possible? Like, totally went soft.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never seen Kids in the Sandbox?
Yeah,
no,
yeah, that's it.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Dude,
is that
was
the
one-
video?
It was one of those videos. Yeah, it was one of the ones that went viral. This lady went right in there with the dildo. It was
In his urethra?
yeah. It was
Oh my god!
yeah.
How's that possible? Was it a small dildo or was it a large urethra?
It's not something I want to recall the memory.
Yeah, it was quite horrible.
Jesus Christ. We're going to have to pull that up here.
The third one was a toss-up between seeing a chick fuck herself with a cactus.
Oh, fuck. With needles on it still?
Yeah. Or watching an Asian chick take live eels and shove them up her butthole.
Live eels.
Yeah.
How many did she fit in there?
Like 12.
12?
She just kept... Wait, she was letting them go in her?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was
Did
weird.
she survive the experience?
I guess so.
You know what would have made it way more interesting? Electric eels. Like, you think you're a bad bitch because you put 12 eels in your asshole? Let's see them bitches electrified.
Yeah. Yeah, ultra stimulation. I tell you what.
For her pleasure.
Never have to change the batteries out in them bitches.
No. Guaranteed for life of the eel.
Wow.
Oh, fuck.
So,
man.
yeah, this
Yeah.
podcast took a turn.
Well, I knew it was going to. Hell,
mean-
we've got Jesse Sosh on here. What do you mean?
I mean, let's be honest.
It
So,
didn't
like,
take a turn. It's been in this turn,
Yeah,
Chase. Where have you been?
Well, we started out like so whole with the religion and your experiences
Well,
being homeschooled.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they say, you're either a product or a reaction of how you're raised.
Yeah.
So you either choose to take the principles that were instilled from you and follow those through your life, or you choose quite the opposite. And for most people who are sheltered, I mean, I was sheltered pretty well as a child too, especially compared to like some of the people I grew up with. When you get out of that environment, you're like, okay, I know it's all bad. I know it's all shit I've been told not to do, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to just try it.
Because no one's ever allowed me to do it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these are the
100%.
things you want to fucking experience, whether it be 12 eels in your asshole or fucking your mattress, I guess.
Sure. No, I mean, and it's just like when you're 19 and a virgin and your testosterone levels are literally to the moon and back, it's like, all right, you get kind of bored with, blowjob porn,
How many hours of your life would you say you've dedicated to watching porn?
Man.
Whoa.
That's,
How many hours?
That's a good one.
We're talking hours now.
Hours.
Because let's be honest, you don't really need anything past the first 5 minutes of the video.
Yeah.
Anything after that's just trash. You might as well just not make them past 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, for sure. 10 at the most if it's been a stressful day, But no, I mean, hours, huh? Most of them were accumulated between the ages of like 17 and 21.
Well, yeah, that's that pubescent stage or you're fucking...
Yeah, and I would say, I don't know, probably 500 hours.
Oh, geez.
500 hours.
Give or take.
That's some
You
World
know?
of Warcraft numbers right there.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking level 73 Narlock shit.
So, is anybody watching live?
That is 20.8 days. That's almost 21 days. That's
That's
3
that's almost a
weeks
month.
straight.
That's almost a month.
That's insane. I would be very interested to find out the average number.
Sure. I actually did some research. I'm real big into statistics and facts and
Yeah.
whatnot. And according to the latest poll, 95% of males in America view pornography on a regular basis, and somewhere between 78 and 84% of women do the same.
Yeah. And like, it's way... Like, women don't want to talk about it at all. You ask
Yeah, way
90% of women, and they'll be like, no, I've never seen that. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, porn is just... it's like one of those things that it's curiosity, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
it starts that way.
90% of the shit in porn you'll never do or see in real life.
Or even want to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're being awfully quiet, Chase.
I'm just absorbing this
You're being
conversation.
awfully quiet. Dog, I remember we hadn't seen each other in a long time, me and you, Sosh. And we met up, where was it? It was in a store somewhere, probably Walmart. So that's where everybody meets. But you were like, yeah, man, I've been like trying to turn my life around. I haven't jerked off in like 92 or 93 days now. And, it's been awesome for me. And then I talked to you like literally the next day at like 2:00. And you're like, yeah, I definitely threw that away. It was a waste of time. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought for a point, it's like, you know what? I've been, like, taking care of this since I was, 14, right? Like, it's everybody. So, I'm just going to stop for a while. I want to see how it is. And I definitely had more energy, but all I could think about all the time was sex.
Yeah.
all the time.
I mean,
That's
you just flood your
That's it.
mind, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can think about. Literally, there's more testosterone in your body than blood at that point. And I mean, it's not like, I mean, yeah, it's like you're in Walmart and you can smell pussy. You know, it's like,
Fucking sniffing it out from aisles away.
Yeah, yeah. Aisle 12. Spill on aisle 12.
Spill on aisle 12. What's the bitch spilling, Sosh?
I don't fucking know, damn. Fuck.
Oh my God. So you went on these dating apps, right?
Yeah.
And at what point did you think it would be a good idea to meet up with a trans?
Well, I never thought it would be a good idea.
Knew damn good and well going into it wasn't a good idea.
No, I thought she was a woman.
Okay.
I thought it was a woman.
All right, start from the
She,
beginning.
it.
Start from the beginning.
All right, so I'm on this dating app and whatever, and late one night I'm just scrolling through profiles, hitting like or unlike, whatever, and I don't know. I've talked to a few people from there, never really went anywhere. This chick hits me up. I'm like, huh. So I go to her profile and review her pictures, and I'm like, she's early 30s, older. Okay, she looks like she might have had a rough life, you know, but this is all right. So all that happens, and she's like, one day after work, she's like, hey, you want to come over? I said, sure. And she sent me like titty pictures and whatever, and I'm like, sure. It had been a while. I mean, I was in college at this time, so I was working,
God damn it.
you know, I was working
Flies killing
60,
me.
70 hours a week. And anyway, so things happen, and she gets naked, and whop! Like, what the fuck is that?
Wait. Things happen.
Things happen.
What were the things?
Favors.
At what point did she suck your cock? Was that before or after she pulled out a penis that was larger than yours?
Far before.
Before.
Like, as soon as I got there and knocked on the door, I opened it, and I'm thinking, damn, she's tall. But it totally didn't occur to me.
This bitch is 6'4".
It totally didn't occur to me. Like very feminine individual. And I'm like, okay.
Besides the Adam's apple and
No,
cock.
no, I looked for that.
You looked for the cock?
No,
did?
for the Adam's apple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she had on like.
So you had suspicions.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
So you had suspicions going in.
no, you all.
You know, on the app where it says I'm a transsexual, that's probably where the suspicion started.
No, it totally said female.
Oh my God.
And so I was scrolling through her pictures because, you know, there's a whole Craigslist hookup deal to where it's like, oh yeah, I hooked up with a dude and I didn't mean to, or I went over and it's some 60-year-old dude, you know, watching German dungeon porn in his basement, you know.
Oh, didn't you have an experience with that? Not that exact scenario, but didn't you have someone reach out to you trying to get you to like fuck their wife or something?
Yeah, that was super weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway.
Never ends.
so anyway, she sucks me off and I'm like, cool. Time to go to Pound Town, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm hyped. It had been like a year since I had any, right? I've been so busy with work and school. And she stands up and she drops her dress. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
So you're sitting on this
Bed.
woman's couch. Oh, bed.
Yeah.
Okay, where else? Right. So you're sitting on the bed. You nut in her mouth.
Yep.
She stands up, pulls the dress off her shoulders. It falls to the floor. Does it get caught on her erect penis?
No. It was just kind of, it's kind of like 50% erect, right? Like it was just hanging there.
Oh,
you
half
know?
chub?
Yeah,
All right.
half chub. And I'm like, what the? I had just told her I just got off work and she invited me over. And I looked at my phone and said, oh, look at the time. It's 6:30. I got to go back to work. See you later, bro. And I'm out the door. And I was hanging out with her friend Jory before I went over there. And I told him, I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to go get some posts. I'll be back. I come back probably 15, 20 minutes later with a 6-pack. And I walk right in, sit on his couch, pop a beer open, and start chugging. He's like, was it that bad?
Oh, no.
And
You
I'm
had to
like-
tell him.
I had to tell him.
You had to tell him.
I said, you don't want to know. And he just kind of gave me that laugh that he does, you know, that snicker. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want to know. She's like, yeah, I kind of do want to know. I said, she had a dick.
Oh no!
And
What do you say?
he starts rolling. He loses it. He's in the floor rolling around laughing.
That's exactly my reaction when you told me to.
Meanwhile, I'm on my third beer, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have said anything.
You know what? I could use another blowjob right about now.
That would make everything feel a lot better.
No.
Call her back up.
but
Hey, I'm
anyway-
sorry for that. I'm off work now.
So, yeah, so, like, tons of fucking people, found out about it pretty quickly because I know
Well, you
a shit
called
ton of
everyone.
people. No, I called you and
Yeah,
Zach.
you definitely called
Jacob
me.
is everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I told you, and then the next day, like, 4 dudes hit me up on social media,
I didn't tell anybody.
Okay.
I want to put that out there. Even Zach was like, "Hey, did you hear about Sosh?" And I was like, "What about Sosh?" Like that. If I had gotten a blowjob from a dude, I wouldn't want anybody to know. Like, I would tell my closest friends because it'd be funny, but I would be like, all right, seriously, y'all, don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
So then naturally, we put you on a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole story is why they wanted me.
I mean, it's a
on
part
the
of
show.
it's a part of your life, and it's fucking funny.
Yeah, and I was pissed off at first, but then I thought, you know what? It's 2017, and people can express their sexuality however they want
I
to.
mean, a mouse, a mouse.
I'm totally straight.
Except when there's a dick.
I mean, I'm totally straight, but like,
But
no, just let me finish. But let
Well,
me
when I'm
finish.
about half nut, I
So-
could be either. It doesn't really.
so like, if he, she, it, whatever wants to be called, would have told me, I would have politely declined, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't tell me.
Right.
It's kind of like if you just came home, and your wife was screwing another dude, you'd be shocked. It's kind of the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same deal. I was really infuriated for a minute and really shocked and all that, but whatever. At the end of the day, it's 2017. People are more free to express their sexuality than ever before, and I think that's totally great because we live in America.
Yeah.
But not for me.
beautiful bow.
Man,
on
I
that.
still remember when you were going to the strip clubs all the time, and
Oh,
it was
God.
like
I know.
9:30. No, it was later than that. It was probably 11:30 at night, maybe midnight.
Yeah.
And I get a call from the Sosh, and I'm like, "What's up, man?" And you're like, "Dude, I think I lost my virginity." I was like, "What do you mean you think you lost your virginity? Either you did or you didn't." And you're like, "Well, all right. So listen, I went to the Pony, and got a dance from this stripper, and she jerked me off." And I was like, "So, okay." And he was like, "And I came." I was like, "No, you're definitely still a virgin, dog."
I was so let down.
Oh my
I was
god,
so
you were! I
disappointed.
could hear the excitement in your voice,
Yeah.
and it was so funny though. I had to tell you.
I heard your dad in the background. Apparently, you had it on speaker.
No, I was in my room.
No, really?
Yeah, I was in my room.
Maybe you called me right back or something.
Probably.
Because I heard your dad in the background just dying of laughter.
Yeah, I gotta tell Dad.
Yeah, and it was the funniest fucking thing in the whole damn world.
How did that come about?
All right, so some shit had went down. I was pissed off at Preacher, and I went to the strip club by myself.
Mhm.
And I just kind of ended up there. And I'm sitting there, and I'm not even paying attention to this ass and titties, right? Like, I don't care. I'm
You're
so
just
pissed
off in your own world.
Yeah. And this chick walks up, and she's like, "Hey, baby." And I'm like, "What's up?" And anyway, she's like, "Let's go for a dance, and I'll make it better." And okay. So we go in this room, and she totally just whips out my dick and starts jerking me off. And apparently she was pretty prepared for it because she had like a little purse thing, and she had wet naps in there. So,
Did she make you pay extra for it?
yeah,
Oh, how much extra? Let's hear it.
$25.
$25 for a job you could have done yourself in the bathroom.
And it would have been better.
Oh,
It
damn.
was horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
I
she
know.
had some icy cold hands.
I mean, nobody
Like,
can
was
do
just
it like
horrible.
you can, you know?
No, right?
Bitch, you think you know you better than me? Or
Yeah.
whatever, however that.
Bet.
Think you know you better than me. It's not how that goes.
Close
Whatever.
enough.
Dude,
Same thing.
I remember. Dude, we have a long road together.
Yeah.
But I remember
Sure.
I called you. I was like, "Hey man, what you doing?" You're like, nothing much. Friday night, not have much going on. I was like, well, I'm about to hit up this party if you want to go. And you're like, definitely, but I'm dirty. I was like, well, come over. You can take a shower here. I'll give you some of my clothes. We'll head over. So that's exactly what we did. On the way over there, I'm like, all right, man. So I'm just going to let you know, take it pretty easy tonight. It's your first time over here. Don't go overboard. And you're like, yeah. I'm not going to, I'm just probably going to get a little buzz, be chilling, nothing crazy. As soon as we get there, this motherfucker slams like 5 shots right off the bat. Just fucking double fisting them. Then grabs a couple beers, slams those too, and everybody else is still just, sipping on a Bud Light.
Just waiting to get there.
Yeah, exactly. Just waiting to get the party started.
Yeah.
This guy is fucking turned. So as the night goes on, it's probably 2 or 3 hours later. And we've been playing some beer pong, so everybody's feeling pretty good. He was on a whole nother level of his own. Just way up here.
I hardly remember this night, by the way.
I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm sipping on my beer, and we had just got done playing Waterfall, which is just a cards game with liquor. And he leans over to me, and he's like, hey, man, should I get naked? And naturally, I say, definitely. So he gets up, stands up in the middle of the room, draws everyone's attention, starts fucking ripping off his clothes. Just
Oh my God.
layer after layer. Gets down to his underwear, and he's breathing so fucking hard. He's going. He looks left and right. He's like, why are my shoulders so big? And everybody busts out laughing, fucking dying. And he's standing on tile floor where we had already spilled a couple drinks. And in the middle, he's like, why are my shoulders so big? And then he slips on this tile floor, smacks the ground, and busts his ass bigger than shit. And I run over to him like, doggy, you all right? You all right? And you're like, I'm good, man. I'm good. Like just the manliest voice you could fucking muster. Like you had absolutely no pride lost. Like ego was still through the roof. I'm good, man. I'm good. Fucking lay it on the floor, probably bleeding out. God damn, that was so fucking funny.
I woke up the next day here at your house and totally
I literally had to carry you to my truck.
Yeah, I don't remember how we got home.
Yeah.
Like, I know you were sober. Like, I know you didn't really drink anything.
Oh, it was
at
the
all.
next day.
Yeah, and it was the next day.
Yeah, you passed out.
I was still fucked up the next day.
We were trying to party, and all we could hear was fucking loud-ass Sosh snore from the couch.
Yeah, I've been told. I was.
You would wake up randomly, and you would do one of two things. You would ask for a beer, or you would fart. And as the guy I brought to the party, I just thought it was fucking hysterical. Like, yeah, this is what I get.
Did I really do that?
Yeah, you do one of those two things.
Oh fuck, I don't remember that.
Zach was there.
I was so drunk. I remember hitting my head on the tile. Like I remember, and just done. Like
yeah, I'm sure you had a concussion from that. You smacked.
I couldn't feel my body or anything.
And you just needed to know, why are your shoulders so big?
That
was all you needed to know.
That's it. That's all.
Should I get naked? Do it.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to be like,
I mean, if you bring something like up to me, of course I'm going to tell you to do it. It's fucking hilarious.
yeah.
Why would I refuse myself a good time at someone else's expense? It doesn't make any sense.
So, did I tell you, Jacob? I think I posted something on Facebook about it. But this chick I went out with, I met online, and...
Is that the one that you were texting everybody like, hey, can I use your house?
No,
can I use your house to fuck her?
No. I did fuck that chick. It was awesome. But no, great on the side of the road in Motel 6 in Walmart's parking lot. It didn't matter. She was awesome. But anyway. What?
Go on with your story.
But anyway, so the chick hits me up, and she's kind of cool, and I'm looking through her pictures, and we're having a good conversation. And black chick. Whatever. I'm not racist, bigot, anything like that.
Well, you didn't seem like it until you had to take a sidebar to say it.
I know, but disclaimer. So, like, I am an exceptionally white individual. Like, I can't use the word nigga and sound normal at all, right? Like,
you are definitely a hobbit.
Yeah, for sure. Like, 12 meals a day with tea and brunch and bullshit. And, all that good stuff. Anyway, so... we're talking, and it's like, okay, this is cool. She seems pretty cool. And we're texting all day. And one Saturday after I get off work, she's like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And actually, I think I asked her, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" She's like, "Yeah, cool." And I said, "Well, you like coffee?" She said, "Yeah, I love coffee." So let's go to Starbucks. Okay, cool. And I'm like, "You want to meet me there at like 6:30 or so?" Excuse me. And she's like, "Well, I don't have a car right now." She's like 21. I said, "Okay, I can pick you up." She says, "Well, can my 2-year-old come too?"
Oh no.
And I had no idea she had a kid.
Sure.
And I'm like, yeah, okay,
don't you
whatever.
have like a
no big
sitter?
deal." I'm like, yeah, whatever. Okay, cool. So I go pick her up, and I was driving a little piece of shit car at the time, and she puts a baby seat in the back of it, and straps her 2-year-old in there, and we're driving over to Starbucks, other side of town, and she's like, gets a phone call, and it's all real nice and polite and cordial at this point. She gets a phone call. And the next thing I hear is, "Listen here, you bougie ass bitch. I don't owe you nothing, bitch. Listen here,
Went
I'll let you
full
stay.
ratchet.
You gonna ask me a question like that?"
Axe.
yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is this the same person I was talking to yesterday?
Yeah.
What the hell? And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna mind my business. And she gets off the phone, and she's like, "Sorry, that was my main bitch." I'm like, oh fuck, this isn't gonna work out at all, is it?
Oh no.
Anyway, so we get to Starbucks, we walk in, and we're standing in line, and her 2-year-old is running everywhere, getting into everything, and she's oblivious to it. I mean, he's getting into people's shit.
Good mom.
Great parenting skills. And already I'm like, should I say something? Should I not? It's not my kid. This is the first date.
Fuck it. Yeah.
Fuck it. Not my kid. Anyway, there were some really sweet, like, old school religious people behind us, like a mom and her daughter, I guess. And they were wearing, like, skirts and had long hair, or whatever. And they were playing with this little boy to keep him entertained. And and they were like, "So is this one yours?" And yeah. How old is he? 2? Oh, that's awesome. Is he your only one? Yeah. Well, I had a miscarriage. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Last week.
Oh.
And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. And she goes, it's what I do.
What?
And I'm like, holy shit, I gotta get out of this shit. Holy fuck. And
The only time you got out of there quicker is when they pulled out a dick.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like,
At least you got a blowjob out of that deal.
I'm like, I analyzed the situation real fast in my head to be on damage control, right? I'm like, well, I just can't leave her here. That'd be straight up mean. And I gotta take her home.
Or could I?
Or could I?
I gotta go back to work.
Ask our main bitch to come get her.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I'm like, okay, all right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk to her for 30 minutes out on the patio. Maybe it's just some big misunderstanding. I don't know. So we're sitting out on the patio. Again, her kid's running everywhere, getting into everything. It's awful. And so, like, I'm talking to her, and I'm like, "So where do you work?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't have a job right now, but I'm trying to get back in the workforce, but it's hard as a single parent." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, where did you work?" And she said, "McDonald's, when I was 18, for 2 weeks."
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh,
So
fuck.
what was she doing? Just using the system?
Yeah, and I was like, "So how you like paying your bills and staying in that apartment?" And all that. She said, "Oh, my baby daddy." And she said, "Yeah, my baby daddy, and we're still kind of fuck buddies, We still fuck around a little bit." And I'm like,
that's a good thing to tell
and
your
I'm
date.
like, "Great, yeah, that's awesome, cool. Why the fuck am I here?"
Yeah.
And anyway, so I text a friend, a very dear friend of mine, Rebecca, underneath the table so she can't see it. And I'm like, "Call me." She knows I'm on a date. I said, "Call me, pretend to have an emergency. I've got to get the fuck out of here, but I don't want to be rude." She says, "All right." So like 30 seconds later, I get a phone call. And I'm like, "Oh, excuse me, I got to take this." And I walk over and like, Rebecca's not even saying anything on the phone. And I'm just like, "Oh my God, are you serious? oh yeah, oh he's on his way to the hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll be right there. I gotta take her home. I'll be right there. And I come back. I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry to cut this short, but yeah, not really. But I got my friend's husband is on the way to the hospital. I gotta go. She's hysterical. She's crying all over the place. He broke his leg or some shit. Okay, yeah. So we get in the car. I'm taking her back. We're pulling. It's awkward as shit on the way home. And anyway, so we're pulling into her apartment complex. And I noticed some people and some vehicles like standing over in the parking lot. And I'm like, what the fuck? She looks over and she looks back at me and she's like, oh my God, fucking go. Just drive. I'm like, okay. So I go around the back of the apartment complex. And I'm like, what's that about? She said, well, I don't want, that's my aunt and my uncle, and I don't want them to see me with a white man.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, all right, listen, you're here. Can you just get out, please? I had a good time, but like,
get the fuck out of my car.
Yeah, just go, please. And she said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did I say, it's me, it's not
go.
you.
Just
go. Yeah. So, yeah, that was that. That was horrible. But, I had a miscarriage just last week. It's what I do.
Wow.
What the fuck does that mean?
So then
With
in
a
the
coat
middle...
hanger.
Oh, no.
Oh God.
So in the middle of all of this, me, you, Jory, Aaron Ferguson, pretty much our entire crowd, Dylan McDaniel, we were all really into building our trucks. And you had bought a truck from Matt Sanders, guy we talked about earlier. And it was a, 93?
93 F-150 flare side.
Yeah. And she was a big old Barney. She was painted purple. And
Ugly as shit.
yeah, so we were all real into building our trucks. And I still remember we all had lifts and we all had big oversized tires,
And
of course.
dual exhaust. And
Yeah,
et
what
cetera. HIDs.
what is exhaust? What do you mean?
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
way before exhaust came along.
Yeah.
If it didn't look like a leaf blower when you revved it, it wasn't cool. But we went down to River Road back when you wouldn't get arrested for going there.
Yeah.
And we went all the way to the back, and it was muddy as fuck because that's the only time you go down there. And we get up to this field, and Jory's then girlfriend was driving his Bronco. And this is Jory's baby. I mean, his Bronco is everything to him. And she goes balls to the wall into this field. And when it starts to get a little bogged down, she did what any badass man would do and floored it. Well, the only problem was she went high and centered. So all four tires off the ground. Nothing could be done. And they were like 300 yards out in the middle of this field by this point.
Middle
so
of
no
nowhere.
one. And his truck was lifted the highest.
Yeah.
So if he was high and centered, we couldn't even get close to him to pull him out. So the guy with the second largest truck was Sosh. And I was like, Sosh, what we're going to need to do is you're going to go halfway out in the field because we didn't have a 300 yard long fucking rope.
Yeah.
So I was like, Sosh, you're going to back your truck halfway into the field. Hook up to Jory. I'm going to back my truck barely into the field. I'm going to hook up to you. We'll pull them out together. Sosh's like, all right, cool. I'll be there in like 30 minutes. And because that's what we did, whatever you're doing, you stop to go help pull somebody out.
Yeah.
So Sosh gets down there, and the truck is smoking from everywhere. It looks awful coming down the road. He puts it in park, and we hear, and we're like, what the fuck was that? And then we hear just liquid pouring on the ground. And he had what happened there?
So in my defense, I was walking around Lowe's killing time on a Sunday afternoon when I got this phone call. And River Road's underneath Blue Bridge, which connects Owensboro to Indiana. And for those of you that don't know. But anyway, so we're under... Jory's like, yeah, come pull me out. And it's no big deal. I said, okay, cool. So I'm coming down there. And I expect him to be like right off the,
Nope,
the
all the way in
gravel
the
road
back.
where you come down. I'm like, well, fuck, where is he? I'm like, okay, well, I'll just keep going. He won't be this far back here. I've got a fairly lifted truck, and mud's up halfway up my doors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? It's revved up to like $6,000, moving 10 mile an hour, And so I finally get through this big ass bog, probably a good 2 miles back. Motherfucker's overheating like a bitch. It's bad. It's squilling. It's knocking. It's popping. It's like, oh, this isn't good. So I get in within line of sight with Jacob and Jory, and I'm like, look down at my temp gauge, and it's maxed out to the max. And I'm like, all right, I gotta shut this off before I blow something up. So I shut it off, and I hear, psh, and I jump out. I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I had just bought the truck for like $1,500. Needed one of everything or more. So anyway, I got out. I looked underneath of it. Front seal of my transmission is just pouring. All 14 quarts of transmission fluid. Smoking hot.
Pouring it out.
Pouring
I mean,
it
a
out.
geyser, not a drip. It was a steady stream.
Yeah, it was like somebody turned on a garden hose of transmission fluid.
So then we were out there. One truck high and centered in the field. One
other one
truck
blown up.
with trans grenaded. And my truck. and like my truck was overheating too.
Yeah.
And I had an 02 Silverado and it was in good shape, but after going through all that mud and all that terrain, man, it was just hard on it. And we're sitting out there. We're out there for probably 6 hours total.
Oh, every bit of it. It's getting dark.
Yeah. And the shitty thing was, like, we were a good 2.5, 3 hours in trying to let his truck cool down, see if we could scrounge up any transmission fluid for it, shit like that. And this lifted GMC Yukon, and when I'm saying lifted, I'm saying like 9 inches of lift
Fucking
on like
insane.
37s, 38s. Comes flying by us, and he gets to behind Jory, sees that we're all parked, trying to figure out. We got our rope strung out, trying to figure something out. Cuts his wheel to the right, eats a new path through the field around Jory, and keeps fucking going.
Yes.
Gave
Yes.
exactly zero fucks about what was
Exactly
going on.
zero.
Oh man, that doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, they're right behind him. One of his buddies comes back following him in a big lifted ass Dodge, blowing white smoke out the tailpipe like a motherfucker. He said, "Yeah, I've been down here about 20 minutes and I've already burnt about 10 quarts of oil." I'm like, "What the fuck?" But anyway, he's like, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm probably just gonna blow the truck up and leave it down here." He said, "Well, do you want to pull this guy out real fast?" I mean, this thing's sitting on like 44. It's freaking massive. He says, "Yeah, I don't care. You got any oil I can throw in my truck?" So, yeah, I got a couple quarts. There you go. And anyway, pulls him out, and horrendous night. But what's really funny, I remember while we're deep in the shit doing this, I remember some kids brought down like their mom's 2013 Ford Focus.
I was actually gonna say that, dude. See, I had to leave before then.
Yeah.
I had to leave. And so I got in my truck, and it was still like just barely daylight, but I had light bars all the fuck over my truck, country boy. So I'm heading back down this slippery, soggy, nasty ass fucking mud path, and I got Lacey in the truck with me still, and I come up to this like pretty long straight stretch, and it is just a swamp. I mean, like 10 inches of standing water with just like 14-inch fucking ruts in the mud. It was gross, right? And like
nasty.
It was a 4-wheel drive, balls to the wall kind of stretch. And about an eighth of the way into it, probably 50 yards, there was a red Ford Fusion. That's right, a Ford Fusion sedan. And they had tried to come back there for some reason and lost traction, wound up turning sideways, almost hitting a tree. And then there were 3 guys that had a come-along attached to the bumper, not the frame, the bumper, and had it wrapped around a tree, and were trying to like winch it over to the tree like that was going to help anything. Oh my God. And I got up to them. I got out of my truck, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I get over there and find out that it's Matt Sanders. Again, Noah Simpson with some guy in his mom's Ford Fusion that thought it would be funny to take it mudding.
Oh my gosh.
And like I said, I had to leave. So I was like, hey, I called Sosh. I was like, hey, on your way out, help these guys out, please. They're fucking up here with a come along in a Ford Fusion. They're not going anywhere if we don't help them. So they were blocking the entire path. They were completely sideways, winching it towards this tree. So the only option for me was what seemed to be a shallow ditch to the left. And it went up like a little dip and then up into this field. And there was no crops planted or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'll just go around them. And at this time, like I said, I only had like a 3-inch lift on 33s. So it was barely anything. So I cut my wheel to the left and I ease into it. And I feel the rocker panel sit on the ground. And I went, oh no. So I put it in reverse. Nope. I mean, like I said, we're in standing water. It was not going anywhere. I went, oh no. I looked at Lacey, and in my Silverado, anybody who's got that's a 99-02 truck will know, right in front of the passenger airbag, there's like a grab bar. They don't have like an oh shit handle up here. Yeah. It's right here in front of you. I was like, grab that bar. We don't really have a choice right now. It was like, no, I mean, we're not getting backwards, so we're going to have to try to go forwards.
Yeah.
So she grabs it, buckles up, and I give it hell. I mean, there was mud just like rooster tails flying like 20 feet up. I mean, it was fucking eaten. And it's so funny because I remember as soon as I hit the gas, the grill had a bull bar on the front of my truck, smacked into the ditch, and bent that all to fuck. I mean, just awful. And so I'm eating. I finally get up into this field, and it gets no better. Like, none. It's just deep, thick fucking mud. So and then I have to go back into the ditch to get back on the path. And at that point, my truck started to freak out. When I was going through the ditch the second time, it was still just fucking like spinning, but barely making traction, you know, had it all the way up to, 6,000 RPMs, just fucking hitting the tack limiter. And my truck starts freaking out. Check engine light comes on. All the lights are fucking flashing. ABS is on. Everything's just fucking
Christmas
going.
tree.
Yeah, it's going haywire. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I don't know what's going on, so I'm definitely not stopping now. I'm going to blow the bitch up before I get stuck in this ditch and stay here the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So I finally get through it, and like I said, I got like 60 more yards on this path that I got to get through. That's just shit. So I get up to a pretty clear area, and I put my truck in park, and there's fucking steam coming out from under the hood. It's overheating. It can't breathe. It's spitting and sputtering. All the lights are on. And I look at Lacey. I'm like, we're going to get up to that bridge because I'm not shutting my truck off right here.
Yeah.
So we get up to the bridge finally, and I'm going slow. I'm trying to baby it. I just bought this truck. I mean, it was like a new truck to me. And I get up to the bridge, and I shut the truck off, and I let it cool down. I popped the hood on it, and I noticed that it's got a little... I guess you'd call it a gauge. It's
indicator.
Yeah, a little. Well, yeah, it's more of a gauge, I guess. It's off the air box, and basically, if it can't breathe, it suctions this plunger down into this gauge, and it'll show red, telling you it can't breathe. Yeah, so there's this gauge. It's on the side of the air filter housing, and it sucks a plunger into this gauge when it can't breathe, right? So I noticed that it's red, and it's never been red before. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So, and this was when I was still pretty new to trucks. So I hadn't had a lot of experience with it. I was still kind of dabbling, I guess, for a lack of better words. So I wound up driving this truck from downtown Owensboro across the Blue Bridge all the way up to O'Reilly Auto Parts. And I stopped in there. I was like, hey, man, truck's throwing codes, truck's doing crazy shit, it won't stay running. It literally killed itself at every stoplight. If I didn't keep it above like 2,000 RPMs, it would kill itself. So he pops my hood, and he goes, yep. I was like, okay. So he goes into O'Reilly's, and it's going to make me sound really stupid, I don't care. But he goes into O'Reilly's, comes back out with a Phillips head screwdriver, takes the screws out of my airbox housing, and he pulls out the air filter, and this son of a bitch takes it and wrings it out. And it was just as brown and muddy as you could tell. I mean, it was awful. And I was like, that's not good. And he was like, no, it's your problem. Your truck can't breathe. I was like, oh, that sucks. He's like, yeah, they're about $25 for a new one. I was like, oh, that sucks worse. Because you already got to pay to clean your truck and everything afterwards. But hell yeah, that was a fucking crazy time. Is that kind of what got you into the mechanic thing? When did you decide you wanted to be a mechanic, and what led up to that?
Yeah, man, it was growing up. My brothers were older than I was by a lot, and so when I was a little kid, they were getting their first cars. And anybody with their first car, especially the guys, like, oh my God, I want to put wheels on it, and I want to put a system in it, and I want to put whatever on it. And so I kind of grew up around that. And at a young age, mom and dad weren't doing so well financially, so we were fixing old shit all the time to drive.
Mhm.
I didn't have an interest in it. I was like, yeah, cars. Yeah, okay. And anyway, I was 17 when I got my first car. Somebody actually gave it to me, and it was a 99 Nissan Sentra. Damn good running car. I mean, would drive it anywhere. And it was a great car, and I thought, okay, cool. Never had any problems out of it. Well, one morning on my way home from work, I wrecked it, and I put it in the back of a brand new Cadillac, and totaled it, and totaled the Cadillac too.
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I fractured my 9th vertebrae, and I sent the old man driving the Cadillac to the hospital with whiplash.
That was like your 15th fucking wreck, though.
Yeah, but all the others were like mailboxes and ditches, so it didn't count. that was just a learning experience.
That car would run fucking forever, though.
Yeah.
You couldn't kill that son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, and it got like 35 miles to the gallon, you know?
Yeah, we literally went to Evansville and back on an eighth of tank.
Yeah.
It was a little Nissan Sentra.
Yeah, from Stanley. And you guys were like, it was you and Lacey.
Yep.
And you were like, shouldn't we stop and get gas? I'm like, yeah, we'll be good.
I was super nervous. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
you're
way.
Like, you're like, we're good.
Yeah, I didn't get gas until I got back in Whitesville.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, awesome car. Destroyed it, wrecked it, put it in the back of a Cadillac.
Good learner car. Good learner car.
Yeah, I thought, man, my life is over. What the fuck am I doing now? Shit. I had this great car. Not the prettiest thing. It's not exactly in style, but it ran great.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, what am I going to do? And it was around tax time, and I just got my taxes back, and I had like $1,700, you know? And Matt Sanders said, yeah, I'm selling this truck. 93 F-150 flare side, 5.0 4-speed automatic. And I go look at it, and it's got a body lift on it, and it's this ugly-ass purple color. And I'm like, well, shit. I'm looking at him like, how much you want for it? And he's like, I want $1,700 for it. I'm sure he knew somehow how much I got back on my taxes.
He knew.
And I said, well, I'll tell you what, man, $1,500 and we got a deal. He said, okay. So I bought it. Didn't know a damn thing about it. Didn't know how to work on anything. And when I bought it, it had 178,000 miles on it. It had been a farm truck most of his life. So beat to crap. And, I mean, it didn't have a radio in it. The driver's side door wouldn't open from the inside. Just all kinds of stuff. And anyway, driver's side door wasn't open from the inside. It was ugly. The clear coat was pilling. It was horrible. And so anyway, I just started driving it. And I'm like, man, I kind of like this truck. And about a week after I had it, starter went out. We were down on River Road.
Yeah, we went down to River Road.
Me and you were there.
Middle of the winter.
Yeah,
Hit a frozen patch of water.
You were in your Colorado.
Yep.
And I'm in this big lifted ass
Storm
old school F-150. And you're pulling me with a tow strap in a little bitty ass 5-cylinder Colorado.
Hey, I tell you what. It was a 2.4 liter.
Yeah.
2.4, I think.
Okay.
And I was pulling a 4-wheel drive, quarter-ton truck off of River Road.
Half-ton truck.
Half-ton. Yeah, pulling it off River Road in a little fucking Colorado. It was a little work truck Colorado, too. It wasn't even like a nice one.
So you pulled me up to the top of the bridge on the Indiana side, and there's a gravel parking lot. And I'm like, man, it's got to be the starter. I don't know anything about cars, but it won't start, so it's got to be the starter.
Yeah, you didn't know shit back then. I actually replaced that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you
was
laid
you
under there
and
with
Matt
me.
Sanders and
Yeah.
Jory Taylor, and you guys all came out, and it was on a Sunday morning, and it was cold as shit, and snow was on its way.
No, Jory didn't come out. Remember, I had to go to
That's
his
right.
house and get the tools.
That's right. It was just you and Matt Sanders.
Yeah.
Matt Sanders showed up. I think Dylan McDaniel
Because
showed
he was
up.
flexing his Kia.
Yeah, his combat
Yeah,
Kia
his combat Kia.
with the truck nuts on it.
Yep.
But anyway,
Flexing his Kia.
flexing.
In air quotes, since we're not fucking recording video anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was like, dude, what the fuck? Couldn't replace a starter on an old ass truck. But anyway, I just started hanging out with you and Matt and Dylan McDaniel and Jory Taylor and Aaron Ferguson and all those guys and hanging out at Huck's like every Friday night behind the gas station on Southtown.
Yeah, that was the spot. They
Yeah.
kept trying to run us out of there. And said,
Yeah, and
"Fuck
eventually
you."
they
Kept coming
did.
Back. Yeah.
Eventually
Yeah.
cops showed up
Yeah,
and
they
ran
started
us
calling the
off.
police all the time.
Yeah, it's like, damn
We
commies.
said fuck you as long as we could, though, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
we did.
We'd have like rows of trucks parked out there.
Yeah.
And it was fun until like the snow would come, and then everybody would use the field next to Huck's as like a mudding, drifting parking lot.
Yeah.
That's why they shut us down.
More or less, yeah. And anyway, so I just started hanging around it. And it was the first time I'd ever been around, I guess, what you could call car culture. You know, hanging out with some dudes that love their vehicles and love their rigs and was always modifying or building or changing or upgrading or whatever. And it was like, man, this is cool. I don't know shit about it, but this is cool.
What all have you replaced on your truck by this point?
Everything.
Everything?
Motor, transmission,
motor in there.
Several sets of tires, everything in the front end, radiator 3 times, dash pieces, interior pieces. But
Ford tough.
250,000 miles, though. I'll tell you what. 9 miles to the
$250,000. It's a
gallon
really
and still
fancy way of
going.
saying 250,000.
You're right. You're right.
How many did that Nissan have on it?
When I wrecked it, about 200,000.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah,
Damn.
it was fairly low
I remember
miles.
my first truck, that
Fairly
94
low.
F-150, it had 350,000 miles on it when I
Yeah.
sold it. It
Yeah.
had a
And it
fuck
still
ton.
ran.
Yeah. Transmission was slipping on it really bad, but hell, just fucking fill
Yeah.
that bitch up with slip stop.
But anyways, so I don't know if you remember, but when you guys were living in that apartment over in like the Alamo or whatever, and
That's where we spray painted your fucking truck.
yeah, like we were just working on
spray painted
shit.
it black.
We fixed my door handle, and I mean, I didn't know shit. I literally had a screwdriver
Yeah.
and like a single set of sockets and a ratchet. You know, I didn't have crap.
And mostly my tools.
And mostly your
Yeah.
tools and George's tools. And anytime anything weird would happen, oh my God, I got this squeak, I would call Jory or you and be like, what is this? Oh, it's U joints, or oh, it's ball joints, or oh, it's you need brake pads.
Yeah.
You know? And I just kind of learned that way. And I thought I knew quite a bit. But anyway, so I started working at a parts store, selling parts, still didn't know shit. And probably wasn't help to many people. And anyway, I said, actually, Dad said, son, you really enjoy this. Why don't you go back to school for it? And I said, damn, that's probably one of the smartest things I could do.
yeah.
Right.
And so I did. I went to the local community college, community and technical college, and I got a 2-year associate's degree in automotive technology. And like the shit you learn in that course is so in depth. I mean, they're talking the professor over there that runs the whole program sitting in his class is incredible, because one moment he'll be talking about some 1950s carbureted engine, and then 5 minutes later he'll be talking about hydrogen fuel cells and how they're the future and how they work. And it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's totally
Did
crazy.
you see that new, sorry to get away from the point, but did you see that new Colorado that they made for the military? GM made for the military? Oh, dude, it is sick.
Yeah.
It runs on hydrogen, and they were literally like in a showroom showing it, talking about it and everything, and showing off all the features. And he like turns to the woman who's asking him the questions about it. And he's like, "Yeah, it's actually running right now." And it was completely fucking quiet.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you looked at it, you wouldn't really notice it was a Colorado. I mean, it didn't look like one. Besides, like the front end, the interior was almost exactly the same as a normal Colorado, but
Yeah.
it kind of had the shell on the back like a Humvee does, and it had 38-inch tires on it. But yeah, it was super cool, dude. You should check it out. I think it was called like the ZH2.
Okay, I'll check it out. But yeah, I mean, I just really got into it. And I started working on shit, and they would bring us stuff. Like, I remember one of the first things I ever worked on in tech school is they brought us like an '03 Dodge Caravan. And they were like, yeah, it needs a water pump. And I was like, oh, I've done that on my old truck. That's easy. Yeah, 3 days later, as an apprentice, tearing into this bitch, and timing belt driven, it sucked, the whole thing. But anyway, I mean, we'd be working on this crazy ass shit all the time, and be doing some cool stuff with some of the latest technologies, and we'd be reprogramming modules and writing computer programs, and we'd be doing some of the craziest diagnostics. And I mean, we're talking about like analyzing the gas in the gas tank for its purity, and analyzing the exhaust gases and the emissions and the fuel and the ratios and advanced mathematical sciences that we barely just touched on because that's how far it went. But yeah, I mean, it was just a great experience. And towards the end of it, I got my first job as a mechanic at a local dealership, a Ford dealership. And I worked there for about a year as an oil changer. And Then recently, I made a transfer to another Ford dealership in a different county, and I seem to be doing a lot better there. I just like it a lot more. It's more laid back, more chill, and I'm actually fixing shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually replacing turbos, doing diagnostics, tearing cars apart. The shit I went to tech school for.
Yeah.
And it's so much better than just being on an oil rack rotating tires all damn day.
So what's coming down the line in terms of technological advances to the vehicles? That what's something that we're gonna see obsolete? I know you've brought up to me once before, but you didn't really explain it very well, or I'm just dumb. Either way, but you brought up how they were gonna phase out spark plugs and replace them with lasers or some shit.
Yeah, I think it's Toyota. They want to get rid of spark plugs. So what a spark plug does is you inject fuel and air into a cylinder, and the piston compresses it, and the spark plug fires, and it literally shoots a small spark, and it ignites that fuel and air mixture, and that's where your engine gets power from. Mm-hmm. Well, they want spark plugs burn out after 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000 miles, depending on the engine. And so they want to replace it with high heat intensity lasers. And they're also, one company is working on a valveless or a camless engine where the valves open with magnetism. And,
wow.
And Ford is talking about making a starterless engine. That the computer basically reads, okay, this intake valve is open. We're going to inject air and fuel in there. Using variable valve timing, we're going to close that valve, fire it, and start the combustion process.
That would have been nice to have on River Road that night.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's super nice.
Yeah, but it's totally changing. By 2020, Ford is promising to have self-driving cars on their lots you can buy at their dealerships. I don't know if it'll happen because there's a bunch of legal restraints and...
I mean, Tesla's already got them out.
Yeah, Tesla's already got them. They're highly restricted right now because it's a new thing, and the public's not quite ready for it yet because they don't understand
Can't wait for recalls.
Yeah, exactly. But the big thing with self-driving cars, the technology already exists. We've had cars for years now that parallel park themselves, have emergency braking, all of that. But the big problem with it is, all right, let's say your self-driving car is driving you down a 2-lane highway, and to your right is a drop-off. Let's say a 100-foot drop-off. To your left is an oncoming school bus. Well, in your lane, a 6-year-old girl walks out into the street, and she's 50 foot away. So, and you're traveling at 80 miles an hour. You can't stop. Mm-hmm. So what does the computer do? Does it run into the school bus? Does it lock up the brakes?
Lock up the brakes.
Hit the little girl? I mean, you can't stop in time. It's 50 feet away, and you're traveling 80 miles an hour.
I mean, I've seen those commercials for the blind spot monitoring and the "we stop when you can't" commercials, where they show scenarios very similar, except it's usually somebody pull out, not a little girl, but
sure.
And it locks them up and fucking stops the car like that.
Yeah, but if you'll notice, every time in those advertisements, it's always in a parking lot. It's always in a neighborhood. You're driving 25 miles an hour at most.
That's true.
And so you're driving at highway speeds. It can take a longer time to slow a 4,000-pound car down.
Question though. Why is a little girl on a highway?
Yeah, it's totally hypothetical. Totally hypothetical.
What are you doing, you Gothica-looking bitch?
Right?
Oh, that's
where's your mom?
Yeah, that's
Well, it's a fair point though. I mean, because the car can't make decisions.
Yeah.
We haven't got to that point as far as like AI.
Artificial intelligence,
right?
boy.
We made full circle.
Yeah, we talked about that one on an earlier podcast.
So do you hit the little girl? Do you run into the oncoming school bus? Or do you run the car and its occupants off the cliff?
I mean, it literally makes more sense to hit the girl.
Unfortunately, I think in that situation...
Not unfortunately, Chase. It's natural selection.
I mean, but here's the bigger issue with it. There's the morality side of it. Here's the legal aspect of it. A computer, a car, a machine can only do what it's designed and programmed to do. And so let's say it hits the little girl and the parents want to sue Tesla because their car is obviously a murderous serial killer, right? Mm-hmm. Because it was programmed to hit this little girl. Can they do it? What's the legal aspect of it? Is the engineer and the computer and the software writer that programmed it to do that, is he legally liable.
Or you're bending there, you're stretching, because it's not programmed to hit a little girl. It's programmed to stop when there's an obstacle in front of it and you're not able to react fast enough.
Sure.
Whether that's a wall or a little girl, either way, in that scenario and in any scenario, the little girl should not have been in the road.
For sure.
So, I mean, the people have definitely sued for less things.
Sure.
But I don't know. I think sure they could sue. I mean, you could sue over literally anything, but I don't think they'd have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, I mean that's a situation where all the cards are stacked against you.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is, but it's that way with anything.
happen.
In 1 mile of driving, you make 200 driving related decisions on average. The average person does.
Unless you're texting.
Sure.
You just make a
201.
couple.
So I mean, how can you calculate and program into a computer the things that you can't imagine? What if a deer runs out? What if somebody swerves over? What if a drunk driver hits you? What if I mean it's endless, right? What if there's a sinkhole and the ground opens up in front of you? Just the craziest theoretical idea ever. You can't program a computer to react to every single situation, not even imaginable, right?
This is kind of off topic. Do you know? I've seen this in Chevy and Ford commercials now, where there'll be like a display, and you can see literally above the vehicle looking down. How the fuck does that work? There's no camera in the sky following you.
Okay, you're right.
Unless it's a
You're right.
satellite. And
I've actually had customers ask me
a
that
Ford
before.
fucking satellite following you
But-
around. Makes you
so
feel comfortable.
there's a camera in front of the vehicle, like underneath the Ford or Chevy logo, or in the front grille, wherever. There's one underneath, like let's say on the rear bumper, and then they're on the mirrors, underneath the mirrors on either of the doors, and that's showing you the sides. And the cameras kind of measure like how far things are away. So it's like, okay, well, if he's this far from this side, and this far from this side, and this far from this side, and this far from this side, then let's just put a computer-generated image of the vehicle in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because I mean, on the commercial, it shows a very brief image of it, but it looked like the actual vehicle
Yeah.
that was in the commercial and everything. So I
The
guess
first
kinda
time I
probably
ever
misled.
saw that was on a F-150 Platinum 2017, and I was backing it out of my bay, and I looked down at the backup camera. I was like, "Holy shit! How is it doing that?"
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, I was wondering how that worked.
There was I was pulling in a Lincoln one day, one of the brand new ones, like top of the line, $90,000 luxury car, and I'm edging close to the wall in my bay, and out of nowhere, like I see the wall down on the backup camera, like down on the viewing pad, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I get out. I throw it, I put on the parking brake, and I get out, and I walk out, and the logo on the front of the Lincoln popped out, and it was a robotic arm with the camera on it.
What?
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
like,
some high level
damn.
shit right there.
Yeah, I mean, so it's estimated by like 2075, the gasoline engine will be no longer. I mean, you've already got hybrids, you've already got all electric cars, and they're getting more and more and more advanced all the time. And they're getting more accepted by society, and the infrastructure is starting to support it.
Yeah, they were super gay till fucking Tesla came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then it was super cool,
Then
right?
them
Like-
bitches can outrun any gas engine out there.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah, exactly. And because when, an engine has to accelerate, an electric motor, bam,
Power immediately.
All of it.
Yeah.
All the torque. All.
And so it's just getting, Uber, the company Uber was talking about having self-driving flying taxis by the year 2025. And
I feel
essentially,
like I've heard that before.
yeah, right.
Where was it? Oh, Futurama. That's right.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be
Blade
like
Runner?
giant drones, right, with a passenger compartment on it. And hey, I'm at this parking lot, and they land, and you get in, take you wherever. I don't see it happening.
That won't happen.
No thanks.
Amazon can't even get the laws where they can deliver packages.
Yeah, I was about to
There's
say
no-
Amazon tried to do that.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to be able to do that. But they say they could if everything fell in place, which I'm sure they could. It's not hard to
Eventually,
make a
yeah.
big giant drone, It's just bigger. But
All the liability with that, though.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
I know they already have drones that won't hit an object.
Yeah.
Like they won't hit a wall. They won't fly themselves into anything. Like if you were to try to fly it into that wall right there, it would stop in front of the wall and land itself.
So here's my thoughts though. Like, all right, people call Uber for designated drivers, and some dude gets drunk and he's up in this little flying bubble with, helicopter wings on it, flying through the sky. He leans his head out the window, throws up fried pickles all over the place, and, lands on somebody or on somebody's car or some shit. That'd be fucking nasty. But that was literally the first thought that popped in my head when I heard that. Like, damn. But
if you could have knowing everything that you know and everything you've been through, all your schooling and all your personal preferences, if you could have one vehicle for the rest of your life, through its breakdowns, through everything, what vehicle would it be? Specifically.
That's definitely a tough one. There have been a lot of really great vehicles manufactured over the past 100 years. If I could pick one, if I could just have my dream car, so to speak, it'd be a 69 Mach 1 fastback Mustang. For sure. Blacked out, 427 Cobra Jet. Yeah, it'd be cool.
I feel it.
I mean, obviously, it'd be a gas guzzler.
Turbo?
I mean,
we're talking about your dream car. Okay. Well, what setup you running?
If it was my dream car, I'm going to have a 5.0 Coyote twin turbo setup with a 6-speed transmission behind it. Yeah, it's going to be badass.
So you're going to push it everywhere.
Essentially, I want to take the driveline out of like a brand new Roush and drop it into a 69 fastback Mustang.
That'd be dope.
Black it out, slam it to the ground, make it badass, and put more features on it than a Thailand ladyboy.
Man, you're really chubbing up a little bit.
And I mean, that's definitely my ultimate dream car for sure.
Yeah, that'd be sexy, man.
If I could pick a second, it would be a 1971 Ford Pantera. It was such a revolutionary design that Ferrari bought it for Ford.
I just think it's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be guys out there losing their fucking minds right now because I said that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't care who the manufacturer of it was. The design itself was ugly.
Sure.
A lot of the designs were ugly that people think were cool.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the coolest cars, just design-wise and the body lines and all the whole package, man, is the fucking Chevelle.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that you see that car, you can't see an ugly one.
Yeah.
I mean, you see one, like, you're like, God damn, I bet that bitch is fast.
Yeah.
And it could have 50 horsepower behind it, and it would still look like it's fast.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The Chevelle, a 67 Shelby Cobra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
What was the first year of the Shelby Cobra? 65?
I think it was 65.
Yeah.
64 maybe.
Well, 60.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what's next for the Sosh, man? What's coming? What kind of personal goals and career goals do you have set for yourself? Where are you going?
Well, I mean, I'm working at my second dealership. I'm, 3 years into my professional career, I guess, and including college, and eventually I want to own my own shop. I see this huge decline all over the place of quality service and knowledgeable people and people that, don't want to rip you off every time you go to the mechanic. I can't tell you working at dealerships where it's been like, it'll come in and, brake pads to look brand new. Oh, hey man, you're going to need some new brake pads. They're about wore out, all the time. And it pisses me off to see that. Another thing I see in the field, and this was bound to happen, is I see pencil pushers in charge of technicians.
Mm-hmm.
Two totally different people.
I seen your post about that on Facebook today.
Yeah. I mean, a technician will crawl up in the belly of a truck and live in the engine bay for a week until he fixes it, and he'll enjoy it every step of the way, usually, most of us. And he's really knowledgeable and knows how things work and knows why things don't work and how to fix it. A pencil pusher walks up there in his Nikes and his khakis and his polo and says, oh, hey, man, I'm going to need this done. I've got another one coming in today.
Yeah.
Or, oh, hey, man, we're trying to sell this one, so just Band-Aid it and get it out of here.
Well, at the same time, though, every yin has to have a yang, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And it works that way. But, okay, I'll give you an example that happened to me one time. So a shifter cable on a newer car broke, right? Where it hooks to the transmission. And my service writer at the time said, well, can you just super glue it back together?
Oh no.
I'm like, how am I
The
going to
Steelership, people. The Steelership.
Yeah, how am I going to take a steel cable and super glue it back together? How the fuck does that work?
With that number 2 pencil he's holding.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I just wanted to be like, man, go sit in the air conditioning where you belong. I'm out here in this hot ass shop, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would really like to change it. You know, in the '60s and the birth of the muscle car, Detroit, Motor City, booming at the time, was the car capital of the world. And every Friday night, there'd be kids, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, just got their first car, and it was something badass like a Chevelle or a GTO or a Mustang. Because, you know, the economy was awesome back then. But anyway, and every straight road in Detroit, I've heard from old-timers, was a drag strip.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Motor City, USA, right?
Yeah, and it's like, man, if I could go back and I could take that feeling and that essence of youthfulness and excitement and big thumping engines and fast cars and bottle it and sell it, that's what I want to do. But I can't. So I want to open a shop. Eventually, I'll get there. I'm shooting for 30. If I can do it by the time I'm 30, that gives me 7 years. That'd be awesome. But I want to open a shop that brings that feeling. That's good, quality, honest, affordable repair work that you can trust is done right the first time, every time. But at the same time, it brings a certain sense of nostalgia. It brings back that feeling of when you got your first car and you're driving down the highway, blaring some AC/DC, and you're like, yeah, this is awesome. This is the American dream. I want to be able to give customers that kind of experience. And I think it's totally doable. It's just going to be a long road to get there.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to pick your employees carefully. Typically, what you see is 2 of the 3 things: quality, affordability, and customer service. You can have 2, but you can't get the 3rd.
Yeah.
And typically, you can't even get the 2nd. Most of the time, you're getting ripped off for mediocre work by assholes.
Yep.
From typical mechanics.
Yep.
But I think that might be because they have the logic you do of pencil pushers versus technicians in terms of they said, fuck the pencil pushers, I'm opening my own shop, and then they don't have the customer service skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the business sense, which I know you do.
Sure.
Or they don't have the business sense to say, I want to make it affordable and still use good parts.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely a delicate balancing act.
I mean, for me, it's a lot to do with the cost of labor and the cost of parts. I was working at one dealership, and let's say they had to order a part from, let's say, AutoZone. Well, to convince the customer that it was a name brand part, they would increase the price by 300%. So if you paid $10 for it, if they paid $10 for it, you'd be paying $40 for it, you know? And it's just like, man, just to convince the customer that they were getting a name brand part. And it's like, nobody cares if it's from AutoZone. Nobody cares if it's from O'Reilly's, you know? I mean, there are a few sticklers out there, but nobody really cares as long as their car works.
Right.
You know? It's ridiculous. And then another thing I see is, you know, so many shops charge $95, $100, $110. There's a foreign dealership over in Indiana that charges like $145 a labor hour.
That's too much.
And it's like, man, that's insane. But then I look at their technicians, and their technicians are making $15 an hour.
Something's not right there.
Yeah, and it's like, well, no wonder their technicians are unhappy and giving shitty work and putting out shitty quality, you know? Because you're pushing them, hey, get this done, get this done, get this done. I need you to step up, step up, step up, but your pay's not going to go up, you know?
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, I know some really great technicians, and some of them don't even work in shops because they've been burnt so bad. And it's like, man, if I could just pay them fairly, charge the customer fairly, and have a good quality atmosphere and image and service, I think it's $1 million idea.
It is. I mean, because that's super honorable. I mean, because that is a big issue right now, is like, especially around here. I'm not going to drop any names, of course, but there are a lot of shops that they've been around a while, you know, and they get used to a certain customer base, and they get used to, you know, certain cars coming in and whatnot, and certain customers that they don't know so much about cars, aren't very car savvy. They're not technicians by any stretch of the imagination, and they kind of, I wouldn't say exploit, but they kind of just, like you said earlier, the brake pads are half gone. They're like, you're going to need new ones.
Yeah.
I've had a few personal experiences where I've been like, hey, I know I come in here with kind of a sense that like, this guy doesn't know much about vehicles, but I know enough that when I bring the vehicle in, I know exactly what I want fixed.
Sure.
Otherwise, I would, figure it out before I brought it in there because I don't want to spend any more money than I have to.
Sure.
Because, I'm not a mechanic. I can't fix some of these things. But, I have enough common sense to know, when something is seriously wrong with this machine that I have, and there's certain parts that will break and wear out over time, and I can figure out what those parts are pretty easily.
Yeah.
But, I have found myself in situations where I had to go to one mechanic and then to another one, and they both tell me two separate things. I'm like, now what is that? It could be two different things. It could be somebody's trying to pull one over on me, or two different technicians saw two different things.
Yeah, that's kind of the difficult part about it because I don't have a degree like Sosh, but I do know my way around most vehicles, especially vehicles I own. But when something happens, it could be multiple different things. And that's the kind of the difficult part because you could be diving in and be like, it is 100% this problem. You replace it and still doing it, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 100% this problem. And you kind of just chase it on out, which shouldn't be at the expense of the customer necessarily. But then again, garages would have to close down if it wasn't at the expense of the customer.
Sure.
Right.
And this is where a mechanic and a technician are two different things.
Okay.
A mechanic is kind of like a parts changer. Like, oh, okay, well, you got a coolant leak. It must be your water pump, right? Whereas a technician will pressure test the cooling system and be like, okay, where's it looking for? Maybe you can put some fluorescent dye in it if it's hard to find. Put on some UV glasses and use a UV light. Be like, oh, okay, cool. That's where it's leaking from. That's the difference between certified, high-quality, educated people that are passionate about their field and guys that, yeah, I can change tires and, yeah, I can replace the transmission if I have to. I mean, I've done it once or twice in my gravel driveway. That's the difference. And those are the kind of people that the industry really needs because things are becoming more and more and more complex. And before long, you're going to have to be a damn engineer. You're going to have to be a master electrician to figure any of this out. And that's how it's going. But you have to find that select group of people, and that's going to be the hardest part, for sure.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely getting crazy on all fronts, just about. But yeah, man, we appreciate having you in here today, and we'll have to get you back in here some other time too.
For sure. I had a blast, and can't wait to do it again.
Hell yeah, man. All right, well, we'll catch you guys later, and till next time.
See you guys.